So this is it, the final episode of Filmhouse, the climactic conclusion to our franchise war. I've got James, Ryan, Jacob, and Charlotte here with me to hopefully make it through the rest of this bracket. Well, we are going to make it through no matter what.
Oh, there's some big ones on this side.
I see some really tough matchups.
I think it's going to get tough, you guys.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to have fun. I hope you are.
Yeah.
Ryan, pick something from the East Coast.
Well, since I have a doctorate degree in Indiana Jones, let's start there.
Oh, man. Indiana Jones and Ghostbusters. This is one of the tougher ones for me, at least, because I think these are both, nostalgia-ridden childhood loves of mine.
They're also not huge. They're not massive, right?
Right. It's not Bond. There's not 37.
There's a couple of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've also grown into having their elderly first protagonists show up in their most recent iterations.
That's true.
So they're making another Indiana Jones right now, and another
Ghostbusters
is coming out.
He broke his ankle or he shattered his bones again. And so
Harrison Ford, every time he's in a movie, he's getting hurt.
Why is he so clumsy? He's crashing plates, getting his legs
He does it on purpose.
He's 100 years old.
Yeah, no, he's walking away from all of it though.
Well, he's getting
Next time he crashes a plane.
Yeah.
But I think this is great because I think these are two. Again, they start with spectacular films, like a lot of this. Mm-hmm. I think a lot of these franchises can be judged on if they sustain any sort of quality. Mm-hmm. And I think Raiders of the Lost Ark may be one of the most perfect movies of all time, but also the first Ghostbusters movie is exceptional.
So funny.
From top
Fuck
to bottom.
the EPA.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a movie about small business, right?
It is. Well, it's also a very original idea.
Yeah.
Whereas Indiana Jones is a throwback to
It's a
the
rehash.
pulp comics of those times,
Which
and
is
stuff
not
like
aged
that.
superbly.
Yeah.
Well, nothing ever does, truly, but
have.
it was that's fair. But the Ghostbusters is like someone just went, "What about people that hunt ghosts?" And that's what.
Is it Dan Aykroyd? Is that who
Dan
came up with
Aykroyd.
it?
Dan
He's a
Aykroyd.
little cuckoo, but
Oh,
thank
yeah.
goodness.
He's a little wacky,
The original script was way more insane.
Yeah.
And then they had
way more blowjobs.
the guy reeled it
That's
back
the
in.
second movie.
Technically, it's a
I'd write it
blowjob.
outside.
By the way, the
that was
ghost
the first
blowjob is not an actual blowjob.
What?
He's dreaming of receiving a ghost blowjob. The movie doesn't make it abundantly clear, but when you watch it as many times as I have, you're like, oh, he wasn't actually getting a blowjob from a ghost. He had a dream that he was getting a blowjob from a ghost.
Good point.
But there was the deleted scene where his character says the reason he got into this business in the first place was to get dome from ghosts.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
And
spooky
the
toppy.
original device, the thing that they slid out to catch the ghosts, it didn't catch them so much as it placed their face in a position that then you could.
It
Forced a
didn't
blowjob.
catch them so much
Yeah.
as suck off Dan Aykroyd.
Then we fast forward to, what was it, 2014 Ghostbusters? Is that one?
Oh,
16,
so
I think.
disappointing.
Where it's just like
Yeah.
people yelling and talking.
I was just like improv the movie, and they stitched the improv scenes
But
together.
they didn't cut any of it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they set up
Feig,
for
yeah.
jokes and then completely just didn't Oh man,
I-
that movie's
here's-
not good.
I
at all
appreciate Paul
because it's
Feig.
women.
I apprappreciate Paul Feig because
Glad someone said it.
There's a world where the camera's turned around on Paul Feig directing,
Just cracking up.
and he's died. He
loves it.
Melissa McCarthy walks on set. And she's like, can I get some of the sides? And he's, oh my God, oh, so funny. Oh, like just hilarious,
What's-
hilarious.
Weird about that movie and what seems to be a problem with the forever upcoming Ghostbusters Afterlife, which has been just sitting there waiting patiently, is like those movies, the recent ones, don't understand like at all what the original ones are about. They apply this grandeur and like this honor to Ghostbusters, and it's like remember our greatness, and it's like the first movies are just really really fun and funny, and it's just
Well, and
like
everyone hated the Ghostbusters.
And they thought they were
too,
garbage. And even in the
Yeah.
second one, after they had saved New York, you don't pick
Everyone-
up until they are garbage again and they're doing like birthday
Yeah.
parties.
It's like the
Yes.
first one. Sorry, Ryan. You
The
go
kid-
ahead.
The
You
kids
were gonna
wanted
say something.
He-Man before the Ghostbusters.
I was just going to say that I'm really hoping we're getting a bait and switch with the Afterlife thing because it is Jason Reitman, so it's his.
True.
He's carrying on the
Talented
legacy,
genetic.
but it's like, dude, there's no jokes in that first movie. I mean, in this iteration in the Afterlife, there's a million
from
jokes
what
in the
we've
first
seen,
movie.
like in the trailers.
Yeah, from the trailers.
Yeah, it's all
I hope
just
it's
like
very serious.
I hope
Fade up,
I hope in
yeah.
the actual movie there's like,
Well,
you
Paul
know, they
Rudd
go
will bring some
hardcore
fun
Ghostbusters
at the very least.
improv.
Even he
whatever.
seems
Paul
pretty
Rudd,
reserved
you
in the
trust,
trailer.
and Paul we trust.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
He's good
Well, it's
in
like
everything.
Chris Hemsworth and Kate McKinnon were the best parts.
Yeah, it's the thing is I like
that
everybody in that bad movie.
What's that guy? Neil Casey, the guy who played the villain. Saw him at the airport.
Oh, hey.
It's one of those faces you recognize through a mask.
But it's like the first one, it was funny, but it wasn't all jokes. Like that.
It's a
That's
different
like
era of humor.
Yeah, because that's I think the movies later on kept trying to emulate that. It's like it's funny, therefore we must tell jokes or you must make jokes, and then you will laugh at the
I
jokes.
see now what you were saying.
So there's one good Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
And one okay one.
I would say there's one. There's
two
one
great movies.
Fantastic
Right. Okay.
Ghostbusters movie.
Next level. Top.
And I know
the tops.
people don't care. They'll like Ghostbusters 2. I watched it
not
as a
as-
kid.
Ghostbusters
and
2
when
is
I-
I was
amazing.
fine with it.
I love
Yeah,
it.
when you're a
Baby.
kid, you excuse a few things. I think as an
guess
adult,
so.
you might not. But then it kind of falls apart. There's a cartoon,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indiana Jones. There's
The
how many
unofficial
good
video
movies?
game sequel. Well, I guess it was an official video game sequel
Yeah.
that picked up.
And young Indiana Jones with River Phoenix, rest in peace.
of course.
Oh yeah.
So there's a couple of good Indiana Jones movies. More better Indiana Jones movies than
There's only two
Ghostbusters?
good Indiana Jones movies for me. I don't
Yeah.
like Temple of Doom.
You don't like
at
Temple
all.
at all?
Three.
I
One and
love,
three.
to me, that's my number
like
one.
Temple.
I know.
Temple of Doom?
James, we are.
Temple of Doom?
That's my
That
number one
tracks.
Indiana
I
Jones.
think I
You're
get
saying
it.
No joke.
Is it Kate Capshaw?
Yeah, she
ruins that
she-
movie.
she-
She's pretty rough.
Just
What's the kid's
horrific.
name? What's the kid's name?
Short Round.
I love Short Round.
I love Short Round too. Short
Yeah.
Round's great. She screams the whole time.
Yeah,
And I'm
she
into it.
just
Terrible.
is not.
It's a perfect
good.
foil
Yeah.
for Harrison Ford.
It's been a while for me since I've actually I watched the most recent one was I guess Raiders that I watched and still yeah.
So we're talking about Ghostbusters being a fantastic movie. I think Raiders of the Lost Ark is one of the most perfect, excellent films of all
Yeah.
time. Very few flaws.
This is the most akin to the Toy Story, how I said in the last episode, Toy Story, like every movie is great. To me, every Indiana Jones is great, maybe except for the fourth one. That
Crystal Skull.
I'm just saying, it's a perfect trilogy, at least the first three, even though I know you don't like Temple of Doom. And I picked this combo because this is such a hard thing. I love Ghostbusters and Indiana Jones. How can I pick this? But I think Indiana Jones is more important to cinema, and it's a better overall trilogy, and that's what I'm going to go
I think
with.
it's a little more iconic,
Yeah.
a little more broad. Maybe not as like. You brought up an interesting point where you're like, someone came up with the Ghostbusters out of from what? I don't know what they came up with. There was no before that, but clearly
there
George
was-
Lucas created Indiana Jones from his childhood pulp films.
There was the Ghostbusters show,
The one with the monkey.
gorilla.
Yeah.
It was from his family. His family were ghost hunters and
Yeah.
stuff, and so he wanted to make a ghost hunting movie, and then it morphed. with
So there's value to that, but I don't know. This one is a toss-up.
I think it's tough. It's
hard.
a really tough call.
Very hard.
I think when I was a child, I loved Ghostbusters. Like when I
Yeah.
was 7 years old, Ghostbusters was the coolest fucking thing.
But I also wanted to be Indiana Jones. I honestly wanted to be both Ghostbusters and Indiana
When then you
Jones.
realize that archaeology is not interesting at all.
Oh, well, no, not that part.
No, you're digging a hole. For
Just
the
the
rest of your
part,
life.
just
You're
the
in a
part
hole.
where you're going around doing adventures and then banging your professor's daughter or whatever.
Another one of those retrospective.
You ready to vote
things.
already?
There you go.
I think we can push the vote.
I do think this is a tough one.
It is.
Yeah.
I'll 100% agree.
One of the more interesting things about this whole bracket
Yeah.
is comparing really great movies.
I like them both. I will say that now.
Jacob, what would you vote for?
I think I'm gonna go Indiana Jones on this one. Like I really like that first Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one in a really long time,
Same.
so I can't say much about it. But I don't know. I feel like Indiana Jones is just like I don't know. It's just so fun, and I think you're right. Like it is iconic. It's just like that kind of adventure movie. I'm sure carried forth into many things and eventually culminated with The Mummy.
Culminated.
Yeah, with all the archaeology at the beginning of that movie.
The new Mummy.
The new Mummy.
Oh, okay.
No,
Which
not British.
is not. It's surprisingly absent from this list. The Mummy franchise.
No,
Yeah,
it's
very
down there.
strange.
Oh, no, it's
Yeah.
not.
Anyways, I'm gonna
Do-
Indiana
do-
Jones. Indiana Jones for me.
Charlotte?
Oh, yeah, Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have to do Indiana Jones just based on the strength of Raiders. I think it's almost flawless.
3 is one of my favorite movies. It's just so killer.
The
Indiana
Last
Jones,
Crusade?
Last Crusade. When Hitler signs his book is one of the just funniest moments.
I like when he's in the fridge in the fourth one. That's one of the funniest moments.
That,
in the
that was a
nuclear
laugh
blast.
riot. Yeah.
so
I guess I don't have to vote then.
well, what would you vote?
I would reluctantly I would vote for Indiana Jones, but then if Afterlife came out and I liked it, then I would have switched to Ghostbusters.
Okay, that would tip
Yeah.
the scale.
Yeah.
'Cause right now,
Ryan?
sitting on top of that is
Sort of
I'm going
Matrix-y.
Indiana Jones,
Yeah.
and reluctantly because I love Ghostbusters so much.
yeah.
This was a really tough one.
Yeah.
That was a tough
That's
one.
why I
Good
picked
start.
it first. Let's get it out of the way,
Good
baby.
start.
Ghostbusters is currently Kate McKinnon, Melissa McCarthy flavored right now, and we need the get the Afterlife on there.
We need
I like
Finn
Kate
Wolfhard.
McKinnon.
Yeah, I like them all.
As McCarthy.
No, I like it more. It's just like it's absurd and it doesn't
I
belong
want
in
to
the
know
amazingness of the other
everything.
ones. By the way, do you like? I know that do you like the sequel name to the new Ghostbusters? Is Afterlife in your? I know you. Have
I
a
guess
strong
it does.
opinion on
It
that.
makes perfect sense, right? Because the idea is the franchise expired.
Okay.
And this is the afterlife of the franchise.
All right.
But he's like
it's about
Egon's
ghosts.
kid or grandson.
I don't know. I only saw the first trailer, but I think they're related somehow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Egon Skywalker.
Egon Wolfhard.
Jakob, pick something on the East Coast.
Oh my! This one just because it's supposed to be a little spicy. Let's go Mad Max Mission Impossible.
Wow. Who's super passionate?
I'll kick
about
it
this?
off.
Yeah, I know
This is
you're.
easy for me. I love Fury Road. Honestly, it's one of my favorite films. But Mission Impossible,
Come on.
franchise,
There's a lot of
give it to me
bangers.
in my veins. It is so good, and it shouldn't be as good as it is because we already have a world that has Bourne, Bond, all these other things.
Bourne
it
Legacy.
manages. Bourne Legacy.
Treadstone, the TV show.
It manages to stand on its own. I kind of appreciated those first three because they're so different. The first one is like almost a political spy drama, one of those things. The second one is a Hong Kong action film, and then the third one is basically what J.J. Abrams always does. But since that point, it's managed to define itself as being these like consistently well set up, well plotted, not overly long, not overly like sensationalized spy action movies. And every single one I'm like, oh man, I love that one. And then another one comes like, oh, I think Ghost Protocol was the last one where I was like, I kind of have like some issues. But since then, like Rogue Nation, Fallout, like they always give me exactly what I want. So, and then you add Henry
Henry
Cavill.
Cavill.
You add Henry Cavill. Like you already have this franchise. I'm already waiting for. They go, by the way, Henry Cavill's going to be in it. And I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
sign me up.
They keep bringing back Sean Harris.
And like Mission Impossible, like it's so consistent, but they always have something surprising. That's like, whoa, that's crazy. Like I always think of that scene where they have like the projector, they're pushing down the hallway.
God.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
what? This is insane, and I love it.
And it's so great because it's not just here's an object that fixes this story plot we need to get around. It has its own issues and its own like he has to be good at it, and
Yeah.
it's not a perfect thing. It's man, the worst part of those movies is when Tom Cruise does some acting.
Yeah,
Like
Hold on a minute.
Like-
Whoa.
I-
Tom Cruise is a great actor.
I'm not-
I think he's very problematic, to be honest.
Well, he's very problematic, but also I think as Ethan Hawke exists right now, it's
Well,
very.
he's Hunt. Ethan Hawke is an actor from before.
So I think if we're talking Boyhood,
yeah.
Ethan Hunt right now, I just feel I cannot look at Tom Cruise sincerely. Young Tom Cruise, even as Edge of Tomorrow, I think he's good in, but like. The way he is in Mission Impossible is just like it feels like a robot. It just doesn't work for me.
I mean, he is a robot.
Well, but I would say that I'm okay with that, and I honestly am more leaning away from the actors trying to win Academy Awards for stuff like this, for popcorn films.
Oh.
This is the closest we have to an Arnold Schwarzenegger in his prime.
I want Mission Impossible to go all the way.
I know. I'm just saying. Like I get what you're saying about Tom Cruise and his performances, but I love that it's like, come on, like I know
so good at
Dooku isn't
combining.
on here, but in The Mummy when he goes when Russell Crowe says, "I'm not a young man like you," and everyone's referring to him as a young guy. It's like, Tom Cruise, you were pushing 60. Like, what are you talking
for
about?
60.
What are you talking
looks
about?
amazing.
It's like no one
Digital
told him, and that's
de-aging.
It's just
to me,
like
is
when he
more
went
fun.
to see Tenet in the mask, he's like, feels great to be back in a movie theater.
Yeah. High five.
so yeah, Ryan, please.
I'm going the opposite of all of you.
Yeah, please.
on
I was
this
going
one.
to say, someone talk about Mad Max.
Yeah, because
Go for it.
Mad Max is why I go to the movies. Okay, everybody. This is like such a weird, amazing four movies that we have. George Miller made all of them. So you have, to me, I like the through line of, this
It's cohesive.
incredible, cohesive, franchise made by this awesome auteur that I love George Miller to death. Babe 2, Pig in the City, his masterpiece.
Happy Feet.
Mission
Happy
Impossible,
Feet.
yeah. I do like how they all are very different in a way. to me, they kind of went the Fast and Furious route after a while, where it's just about what is the weirdest, what's the craziest stunt we can pull off in this particular film, which is awesome. I love the Christopher McQuarrie movies in the last 4, whatever.
The stunts are at least practical, whereas the Fast and Furious stuff is like, let's launch a car.
But Mad Max is the world building of this franchise is so awesome. It's like the exact, like I love the high conceptness of it. I love the characters. Fury Road is fucking bonkers. And I'll never forget seeing it. But yeah, to me, my Mission Impossible, I forget it the second I leave the cinema. Whereas Fury Road, I will never forget fucking the second movie, Road Warrior. I will never forget watching it. I can watch it a million times. Mm-hmm. The only misstep is Beyond Thunderdome, and it's still crazy with Isaac Hayes, my Memphis boy. But fucking Mission Impossible 3, that's to me a low point.
What low point?
It's good. I'm not going to talk shit on Mission Impossible 3. It's good. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. I just like Mad Max more.
Yeah.
This is a hard bracket. I like both of these. I like Mad Max more.
I feel like individual Mad Max, if there was one Mad Max movie versus like one Mission Impossible movie, like depending on which was which, it could go like either way. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like if Fury Road was up there by itself against like a handful of Mission Impossible movies, I go Fury Road all the way. But Mission Impossible is very good.
I think Fury Road itself is better than any Mission Impossible movie.
Yes.
It's incredible.
Amen.
But the rest of the Mad Max franchise, while being inventive and interesting, maybe isn't.
When was the last time you saw Road Warrior? To me, better than any Mission Impossible by far, in my opinion.
Road Warrior rocks, and if you want to talk problematic main characters,
Well,
look no further.
They're all problematic. I think this is tough because I do think Fury Road's better than anything Mission Impossible is going to do. Mm-hmm. But I think there is always one of my favorite moments in a Mission Impossible movie is they're doing that big heist, some big thing, and he fucks up. You got to have that moment where he's like dangling from the edge, and it always has like the pit of my stomach dropping to the ground. Like it has you by it's puppeting you perfectly. Every one of those movies has that moment, and I think that's one of those exciting things about movies.
Again, Fury Road is one of my favorite films, and it's because it is an action movie, a high adrenaline action movie that justifies every single moment that has action in it, and it's all some of the best action ever, but it's all utterly justified. I think that Mission Impossible is that. Like Fast and Furious is not that. Most Bond is not that. They go, all right, we know that we're going to be on the plane and the plane's going to blow up. Now we need to write a scene to figure out how they get onto a plane. It all happens in reverse. Mission Impossible, I think, is one of the few ones that consistently goes, we need to justify this, with the exception of the second one. We need to write a story. Oh, this story naturally takes us to this place where there's going to be a car chase or whatever. Like, it happens. And so what I like about Mission Impossible, because none of them individually are as good as Fury Road, but all of them are trying to do what Fury Road does, and I feel like most of them succeed. So that's why I would go for it.
Good logic. Fallout, along with the story.
This is a very
I don't remember the story of any of those movies.
25
They're all
Bond
convoluted.
That's a point. Yeah, I agree.
Oh, but the twists and the turns and the masks.
Somehow it's just one action scene. It does that.
plane,
I think there's one break in the movie.
Yeah,
and the rest of it's an action
when
scene.
she's kneeling over in
And nothing. I don't think movies can really sustain that very often. It's so hard to just do a constant action without exhausting
we have to
people.
vote.
Yeah, we got. I'm sorry. We did hands.
I think this is
Mad Max right hand, Mission Impossible left hand.
Okay.
Give everyone one last second.
Mission Impossible's left hand.
Mission Impossible. Yes.
I didn't hear you.
Oh, sorry. I'm trying to do the one on the top right, the one on the bottom left. If I
Okay.
can be consistent
Cool.
with that, it's easier to remember. All right, everybody vote. And 3, 2, 1.
Wait.
Yes.
The Mad Max won.
Wow.
Oh my God.
I am shocked.
Fuck yeah.
It's just Fury Road.
I thought
No.
Mission
Yeah.
Impossible
Road
was going to
Road
go
Warrior
all the
is
way.
okay.
Yeah,
That was my
Road Warrior is
pick.
like-
Ryan,
How
you
dare you?
won me
Road
over.
Warrior is great, but the first one is not.
Ryan
worth
won
it.
me
The
over.
first one is a
with-
nothing
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
It's like an
It
experiment.
only is
Yeah.
good
It's
in
good too.
retrospect.
It's a good DIY.
Ryan won me over talking about the world and stuff, and I always like a cool world.
Yep.
And
It's a more original idea.
I am.
And if
This
you're
is a
going to pick
hard
a
one.
spy
Love
movie,
it.
are you going to pick Mission Impossible movies over Bond movies?
yeah,
And
I might,
Charlotte
yeah,
thought-
depending on how I
We're
feel,
going to
yeah.
the end.
I'm gonna
fuck
pick it over.
this
Bond.
might have been my hardest one, honestly.
Well, they're different movies, also.
Yeah.
Like if I just want to like a ride.
Jay-
I think I just picked
Charlotte. Pick something.
Where from? The East Coast? Because I'm going to have to pick the only hero on here from the East Coast, which is Rocky Balboa. Philadelphia. Shrek Balboa.
Okay.
So
Rocky
Rocky versus the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I don't care about this bracket at all, but I have hometown pride, and we have a statue of a fake guy in front of our art museum.
I think also very different,
Yeah.
very wildly different.
Somehow
movies.
there are more Rockies than there are Ninja Turtles, though, right?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Four.
There's 5
Secret of
Rockies
the
plus
Ooze.
Rocky
Oh, yeah, the
Balboa,
whole
plus
Rocky 3, Secret of the
Creed,
Ooze.
and Creed 2.
I think Ninja Turtles touches that childhood thing similar to Ghostbusters, but maybe a little stronger. It's one of those things that I was obsessed with when I was like 8 years old.
Yeah.
And I think it's hard to beat the nostalgia button sometimes.
The first movie is just fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's better than it had any right to be, and it is just utterly great. The second movie is a pure kid spectacle, so it gets worse the older you get, but it is a silly kid movie or whatever version of the Ninja Turtles. And then after that,
The third one's a classic with Vanilla Ice.
no, that's the second one.
Whatever.
I think we've avoided talking about some of the other spin-off stuff, but there's cartoons. There's a whole like toy universe, multiple years of cartoons. Like they've made God knows how many series of Ninja Turtles cartoons. It
They met the
extends
Power
beyond just
Rangers,
a couple of movies.
which means that Power Rangers is also / included in this.
All right.
They did meet.
And Splinter's kind of like an old, ruddy Irish coach.
Yeah.
I just watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles with with my little nieces, and then the next day, my sister got really mad because they all had nightmares.
Wait, which one did you watch?
The original Teenage Mutant Ninja
they're a
Turtles.
little. It's darker than you might remember.
I
Jim
agree.
Henson,
I'm gonna go Rocky though.
Wilmington,
'cause
North Carolina.
I just like Rocky. I don't know. I don't really have good.
Rocky never got me. I don't know if I missed the
Wow.
time or haven't seen it enough, but I was never taken by the Rocky series.
Rocky. Oh, go ahead.
No, I love the underdog story, but I don't know.
mean,
it's hard to beat my nostalgia.
It's always important to consider whether or not this franchise includes one of the greatest films of all time. And this one definitely does. The first Rocky, I think, is one of the greatest films of all time.
really good.
I would say 2 and 3 and 4, while getting further away from maybe what the heart of Rocky actually was in the first one, are still really good. 5 is terrible. But then, in a shocking twist, Rocky Balboa is really great, and the 2 Creed movies are pretty fantastic.
I've heard
So,
Creed is really good.
in terms of batting average, Rocky is extremely watchable. I would probably wouldn't watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3 if you paid me $20.
Is that the once they go back in time?
Yeah, I probably would not. And then other than that, they have the CG movie, which is okay.
There's the traveling stage show where they sing, "We're coming out of our shells."
Yeah, coming out of our shell.
What?
Pizza power.
You need
And
to
the
tell me
two-
more about this after the
The
recording.
2
several animated
Michael
movies.
Bay.
Oh,
Michael
yeah.
Bay ones.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Will
I
Arnett.
honestly
Which the
forgot
first
about
one
those
is
movies.
horrific, and the second one is
fun.
fun because of Bebop and Rocksteady, but that's about it. So
I think it's fun. Also, a series created by just 2 guys that were goofing around, and they're like in their house making a bad cartoon that like exploded into one of the biggest things on
Rocky
the
and
planet.
Adrian, you're talking
No, I'm talking about Ninja
Rocky
Turtles.
also just gave us Sylvester Stallone.
Yeah.
and he got his dog back.
Thank God.
As
I
a-
feel like I'm arguing against everybody for the qualities of Ninja Turtles here.
Well, I think
think it's just a
nostalgia-wise, I was obsessed with it as a
Yeah.
6 to 9-year-old or whatever. But I'm an adult now, and I like adult movies. And Rocky, I just watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I just watched Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Listen up,
and it was
Mom.
like okay, but like Rocky
big boy
is better,
movies.
even though I don't like. I'm not obsessed with it.
Were the
I drink
turtles
glasses
the
with one
nightmarish part, or was it Shredder?
It was Shredder, and yeah, it was the knife. It's
very scary.
It's all dark, and and they're in this gross sewer.
Yeah, I kind of just I guess when I was a kid, I just missed Ninja Turtles or something. Ninja Turtles. But like, I've only seen the first 2 Rocky movies and then the first Creed, and I liked all those a lot. And they got me pretty jazzed. So
I think this one's
yeah.
pretty obvious.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I the only one voting for Ninja Turtles?
I haven't even
We should
seen
do
most
the
of the Rocky
formality.
movies.
All right.
You could have put Hoagie on there, and I would.
I would vote for Ninja Turtles. James, what would you
Rocky.
vote
Go for Rocky. One for
for?
one.
Jacob?
Rocky.
All right.
Go Rocky, go Rocky, go. Go Rocky, go Rocky,
Nice.
go.
You almost crossed out Rocky.
Two cross.
Just like he crossed out Trek.
Let's see your best. Let's do it.
And then
thought
there's,
Ninja Turtles
this
was
is me
gonna go
running
that
through
way.
the Italian
Rocky's great.
market.
The cow.
All right,
Someone throws me an
James,
orange.
If you'll pick something.
It's time. Shrek versus Star Wars. Sound the alarm.
Somebody
I don't know.
some.
once told me a long
Does
time
Star
ago.
Wars have any Smash Mouth in the soundtrack?
Afraid not. Afraid not, and therefore I'm voting
Not
for Shrek.
yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Vote.
Yeah.
Push the vote.
I mean, this was like the beginning of film franchise.
Yeah, I think Ludwig Göransson is going to include some All-Star in the next
Well,
Mandalorian score.
I think they AI'd, what was the Ben Kenobi, the actor?
Alec Guinness?
They AI'd Alec Guinness saying, and the years keep coming and they don't stop coming.
Oh wow.
There are all the stars in Star Wars.
All right. All stars. Yep.
But
Got it.
yeah, that's true.
He's right.
Just saying.
Yeah. It was actually the second Cantina song they played.
Well, remember when Yoda says, "This is my swamp"?
All right. Who here likes Shrek? 'Cause I think it's one of the ugliest fucking movies ever made.
How did this? This is the one that I'm like. how
There's
did this
enough
get
of
on
them.
here?
I mean, there's enough of them, and it has a legacy, and it has a spin-off.
Puss in Boots.
It has 4 films and a spin-off. I think it has a right to be here, but it's also ugly as hell.
It almost got cut from the list, but it box office performer
Shrek?
kind of created an era of what they called the 4D movie for a while, where parents like it, kids like it, it's merchandisable, you can sell everything about it, and I think they're fun, enjoyable films.
It's just, in my mind, the only thing Shrek has going for it in this situation, and this is
Donkey.
considering how much of Star Wars sucks, is that it's a spite film.
Oh yeah, that is
All of
great.
it, because it was made by all the people at DreamWorks who got kicked off of The Prince of Egypt
Katzenberg.
because Katzenberg was a terror.
No, Katzenberg was the guy who made Shrek.
No, but they were prioritizing 2D animation because so Prince of Egypt was going to be their thing that was going to destroy Disney.
Right.
And if you didn't meet your deadlines or you whatever, then you got taken off Prince of Egypt and put on Shrek.
Put the
And
Shrek
so,
funny.
Shrek is a spite film made by a
Wow.
bunch of spited
that cynicism
animators,
really
and that's
bleeds
why
through.
Farquaad is essentially Katzenberg.
No,
I didn't know
Farquaad
that.
is. It's not. Farquaad is like Bob Iger, not Bob Iger.
Oh, Bob Iger, right?
No, I
yeah.
think it's the other guy we're forgetting. Anyway, yeah.
no.
But
Everyone liked the
Listen,
other guy.
no. This is a
Katzenberg
happy
no,
made
not Bob
story.
Iger. Bob
Eisner. Yes,
Eisner. Bob
Eisner is
Eisner.
who Farquaad
Jeffrey
is. Yes, that is
Katzenberg
who it
went
was.
on to
Iger
make
Star Wars.
Quibi.
So I do appreciate that Shrek is a spite film.
Yeah. I mean,
Other than that,
It's hard to beat one of the biggest film franchises.
I mean,
of all
with
time.
Star
only-
Wars, like, with
you would
maybe
like to talk about
maybe
Star Wars?
maybe Return of the Jedi a little bit. Does everybody like the first the old movies? Like the
Well, yeah, the original trilogies
yeah
is great.
Like I love those movies as well. Like
and Attack of the Clones, of course.
yeah. Oh my
Amazing
god.
how little I hear
Let me get
Jacob
to Italian-
actually talk about the movies and not just name deep cut characters.
It doesn't
like,
happen very
like
often.
Dash Rendar's friend. Or
Yeah,
something.
his robot Lebo.
See, this is
No.
way more.
Is there
what I'm
anything
used
that
to.
you like about Shrek more than Star Wars?
I don't
Really
know.
putting his
I like
feet
how
to the flame.
short it is. I guess.
What's the most ogre-like Star Wars character?
well, you're just making jokes, but yeah, Yoda. He lives in a swamp.
Yeah, there you go. A little crossover. All right,
But it's
let's
like-
just call this. No one's gonna vote for Shrek.
I'll talk
right?
more.
I'll vote for Shrek. Let's do the votes. Formalities. I'll go first. Star Wars.
This is terrifying.
I will go second. Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Wow, it's close.
I'll talk more about Star Wars later once we actually have to defend it.
Shrek.
I think Star Wars takes this. Well,
Wow. This is like King's Dilemma when you're like, I'm just going to vote, and then your name gets tied to it, and then you get fucked 3 years later.
What's the problem? And then Gray Ash kills 600,000 people. I was thinking about that. This put me in the Thistlepine state of mind sitting at this table.
Yeah.
This is not the table, but
No, it'd be
It's
a good
a
one
table.
for it, though.
it would be great.
All right.
Little
All
low.
right.
oh, where are we? Who hasn't picked
I just
one
went.
so far?
I think it's you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it, Dan.
I need James to explain what cuckoo is so we can move on. So, Cuckoo versus Jurassic Park.
How do you not? There's probably more Cuckoo films than Jurassic Park films.
That's the.
There's
More films I don't care about,
There's
I
five
guess.
Jurassic Park films. So there's Conjuring, Conjuring 2, Conjuring 3, The Nun, There is
So it's the Conjuring
Annabelle?
universe to everybody else, similar to me that has no idea. what
Annabelle
Annabelle
comes
2.
home. Annabelle returns.
Annabelle, what's for dinner?
We're already there's the whatever La Llorona.
Annabelle this?
There's
Yes.
already.
I mean, there's
Annabelle that.
there's
There's
13
like eight
Leprechaun
or nine
movies
of
too,
them.
What about
and
Annabelle?
Leprechaun's not up here.
There's like
Here's the thing.
There's like 2 cuckoo movies a year.
Conjuring 2, 2 fantastic horror movies. Annabelle, not the first one, but the first one chronologically is a fantastic film.
It's about a doll.
Yeah, it's about the doll Annabelle. There's a lot of really genuinely good movies within that. I would say there are 3 times at least as many good movies in the Cuckoo as there are at Jurassic Park.
So I think Jurassic Park gets us back to that series where the first movie is phenomenal, creates a film franchise, and none of them are good after that.
I
right?
disagree.
Oh.
The JPCU has way more than the Cuckoo in terms of good movies. The Lost World is a classic.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Whoa.
It's
Is
like
that the one with
considered a
Vince
joke.
Vaughn?
That's the one with Vince Vaughn and where the girl gymnastic moves some
The
rafters.
T-Rex
Oh,
goes to New
yeah.
York.
They get a
The T-Rex goes to New York.
Doesn't go to New York. He goes to San Diego.
Whatever. They smashed the blockbuster. It was
New
so
York
fun.
of the West.
Yeah, the New York of the West. Thank
Wait,
you.
that's the second one, yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Fun movie.
It's not fun.
Not as good as the first one, but fun movie. And then third one, we're
I
starting
like
to
the
drop
third
off.
one.
Jurassic World.
I don't remember any.
Okay,
the third
to me,
one's better.
Cuckoo is just like every Cuckoo. I don't understand. Why do you like the Cuckoo?
It's scary. It's like it was the first
Well,
time it was a
scary.
genuine return to horror film.
See, to me, it was a lot of the jump scariness that we get in.
There's so little jump scares in those. That's the best thing about it. There's ambiance.
You know what's scary? A velociraptor that could carve you from toe to tip with one talon, all right?
I'm not scared of a doll.
I think
I'm scared
that's
of a T-Rex.
One of the
Thank you.
best. One of the best things about Jurassic Park. I'm not arguing against the first film. I think the first Jurassic Park. Well, actually, the more times you watch it, the more times you find the holes in it. But I would say what makes it so great is because you're excited. You're in awe. You're terrified. Like it takes you through all of those things. That's what Spielberg does so well. But then after that, it's all just a pale imitation of those things. And then Jurassic World is trash.
I like Jurassic World.
And Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom is unwatchable trash.
I agree.
So
That's pretty strong.
it is.
Trash.
And it's accurate.
Okay.
But we're
It's
about,
garbage.
Well,
We're about to get the dinosaurs coming to America, though, and that's going to be awesome in the next one.
yeah, it's a flashback to when they came into Ellis Island.
They already were in America. In Fallen Kingdom, they brought them to that mansion and then they bid on them in the black market. And then they had a gun that had a laser on the end. And they were like, anywhere we point the laser, the dinosaur will kill.
gotta watch
and I'm
this
like,
movie.
shoot the gun.
Imagine,
faster.
Imagine if you could fire
point.
dinosaurs out of your weapon.
I-
Travel 10 times slower than a bullet.
It's the same idea
Nanosaurs.
watered down and repeated over and over and over again. Is there anything new in any movie after the first one?
But still, we gotta don't discount that first one. That Jurassic Park changed movies, as far as I'm concerned. You know,
and it's going to look good forever.
and it's gonna look at it forever. You got Steven Spielberg brought dinosaurs back to life in the movies and made you feel like it was real. That is something awesome. Cuckoo just is like a bunch of people move into a house and then they get scared. Who gives a
Where
fuck?
was the cliff when the goat was standing there? And the T-Rex cage? Where was the cliff? They stop over the edge and there's a cliff there.
got
Was
me.
John Hammond
You
just
got me.
hanging out in their trailer and then he called in a helicopter to come down and land and say, go tell him I'm in the trailer because he didn't get out of the helicopter?
Okay, Cuckoo. Just kidding. I'm
No,
gonna
I
rethink
love
that.
Jurassic
I'm
Park.
joking.
I love Jurassic Park, but I do think in terms of overall franchise quality, there is more good movies in the Cuckoo.
I feel like Cuckoo, it's like kind of just, it's like popular horror movie. It's like a popcorn horror movie. Like people flock to go see some Cuckoo movies.
People flock to see some JPCU.
Exactly. I just want to say that an issue a lot of people took with Jurassic World, which has flaws, not saying it doesn't. The Indominus Rex doesn't even look actually white in any of the frames of the movie, which they bring up. He's like, why is it white? And in the theater, I went, it is? But people say, after the first one, who would have gone back to open the park? And I would say that's exactly what would happen after
yes.
seeing
People
the
are
American
stupid.
COVID
Oh, no,
response.
yeah.
It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like,
Well,
oh yeah, 100%.
I mean,
It's not going to get me.
there's a Margaritaville there.
Yep.
It's true.
Jimmy Buffett is
So,
in
I
this
mean, like,
series
that's
of
the
films.
universe.
But again, the movie contrasts with itself because they're like, I'll never be able to afford to go to a Jurassic World. And I'm like, there's a Margaritaville there. You can afford to get there. Anyone
Finally
can.
putting Judy Greer
It's not
in the
expensive, I
spotlight.
assure you.
I do think we need to move on. I
Okay.
feel bad about this one. I don't think I've seen a single Cuckoo movie.
I've seen
You
the
should-
first
you
I don't
should
know
remedy
if
that.
I need to abdicate from the vote. Or just,
Halloween, and spook them up.
Is the boy in the cuckoo?
Is the boy in the cuckoo?
The movie The Boy?
With Ethan Hawke?
That was one with a puppet, but it turns out it's just a guy in the
Good.
walls.
Oh no, it's not.
Boy,
That's
good.
not a cuckoo film.
Oh, okay, it's not a cuckoo film.
Sorry.
Okay, sorry.
I'll kick it off. Cuckoo.
Right.
JPCU.
I think Jurassic Park has the vote.
Cuckoo.
Jacob. Oh.
Oh my God.
Really?
I think so.
No. Okay. Jurassic Park.
I mean, I haven't seen Cuckoo.
Well,
so this
Okay.
I'll vote
I
again. Jurassic
apologize
Park.
to all the Cuckoo lovers out there.
that's-
I haven't
yeah.
seen it, so I can't say it's better than Jurassic Park.
I like what's his face, Patrick.
Forgettable actor, Patrick.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Patrick Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah. Who do you like more, Patrick
Ocean
Wilson?
Master.
Yeah, he's an
or
ocean
Chris
master.
Chris Pratt.
Beloved actor Patrick Wilson.
You did a Cuckoo vote, and you did a Cuckoo vote.
Jurassic
you did
Park
JP. You
won.
did JP. Yeah, Jurassic Park.
Unbelievable.
It's because I haven't seen any Cuckoo.
Unbelievable.
It's also the right answer.
That makes it the better franchise.
No
then.
way.
If more
It
people have
has
seen
one
it. Then,
good movie.
I do agree with that. I think
Two.
I find the love for Jurassic
Four.
Park a little overblown. The first one was a good movie, not the best movie ever made.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it holds up that
You
way.
know,
I
like
was-
totally
dinosaurs,
does.
just go
I
watch
was-
Land Before Time.
Yeah. A horror. That's the scariest.
watch. We're back at
Land Before
dinosaurs.
Time is
still.
the yeah.
The voice of the little
Bluethaverse.
pterodactyl.
We also don't have the Air Bud cinematic universe either.
Oh yeah. I'd argue The Land Before Time is scarier than any movie in the Cuckoo. Just
You just
nonstop.
voted for the Cuckoo.
I know, but Land Before Time's not on there. What's next?
What's next, Charlotte?
Jaws and Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. Now that's a
This
parody.
is a
I'm
very
curious
common
to see
thing.
how people are going to
Yeah.
be going on this one.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen more than one Jaws movie.
Oh, I've seen them all.
I've seen them
Yeah.
all.
I've seen
John
them all.
Will- John
but I mean, we're
Williams
in the
dipped
Jurassic
his
Park
dick in both of these.
camp again.
When was the last Jaws movie? I feel
Jaws
like
Revenge?
yeah. When was that made?
Michael Caine was like in his 30s.
Yeah. It was pre-World War II.
Wow, they got those sequels out fast.
I feel like
It created the blockbuster, though, so that's why it's on the list.
Listen, I wish I could pick Jaws. I wish J.K. Rowling would disappear forever. I'm not a big fan personally, but
Dobby likes being a slave.
It was
That
the
too.
toilet thing, wasn't it?
and Cho Chang, the
Oh,
name
yeah,
of the
right.
one Asian
Yep,
character.
that's her name.
I do. I also think I like Harry Potter, but I think the love for Harry Potter is also overblown.
Thank you.
I'm imagining it is also nostalgia button. It's like the reason I
It's-
love Ninja
yeah.
Turtles. It's because people that love Harry Potter maybe grew up with it a little
like
bit
Toy
more.
Story, like
I was a
Jacob
little too
said.
old when the Harry Potter
But
came
it's-
out.
You said you grew up with Andy.
Yeah.
Literally, Harry Potter was like almost beat for beat the perfect like age
Yeah.
coming up.
For me, it was Dawson's Creek.
yeah.
Same
which-
age.
That's your Harry Potter.
It was the same
I named a bunch of planets in No Man's Sky after characters from Dawson's Creek. Never seen the show.
What's Dawson's Creek?
Casey?
The best thing
You don't
about
know
Harry
Dawson's
Potter,
Creek? That's a Jordan Levin show.
it leaves you with a world.
Yeah.
I think that's what's so important to people.
The
is at least
creativity is crazy.
You can see the difference between when you go to Minions Land in Universal and when you go to the Wizarding World. You're
Banana.
like, aha, there was something here. And when you're in it, you're immersed in it. But there's not so much in Minions Land. It's just mostly Minions shaped
not on
like
there.
Rice Krispie treats, and you're like, that's not really. Don't feel truly immersed. So
I
I'd say-
think it's one of the most remarkable things that exists is that singular people birthed these entire universes to us. You know, things like Star Wars or Harry Potter, they're huge world, hundreds of characters, you know, millions of fans. Like there's just so much there, so much lore, just like born out of a single person. I think it's one of the most remarkable things.
I'll say
in
this
our industry.
in effort to degrade J.K. Rowling. I'll say that obviously they were popular books, but I think the movies are the only reason that you can feel like you can step into them truly.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like the visual identity of the casting and like the way those movies like look and are put together is like so closely tied to the books now that I feel like you couldn't possibly read it without imagining it as it has been designed. And so like the writing itself is not amazing.
Oh,
It's
no,
just
not
there's
at
literally
all.
a good
Young
luck
adult books.
potion. It's
Yeah.
like I've really written myself into a magic will get us out of this one. And so like the movies, I feel like you've got like a really interesting, because who did Prisoner of Azkaban? It was
Alfonso Cuarón.
Alfonso Cuarón.
I was gonna
yeah.
bring that up because like the first two movies, you got like Christopher Columbus. And they're
Very-
both like
very
just fun
campy.
kids movies.
Yeah, very
And then,
90s feeling.
Then they got like Alfonso Cuarón one like set the tone for the rest of the movies. It's like okay, it's scary now. Everything's creepy and weird.
You scared?
Yeah, I was that werewolf when he turns into the werewolf. I was fucking terrified.
You should see yourself.
And then we have Jaws.
What happens in the rest of after the first Jaws? What happens?
There was Jaws
God.
2, which was about a boat race. And
I think I've seen Jaws 4.
Then there was Jaws
Jaws
3D,
No, there's two.
which was a water
Resolute 3D?
park.
Revolutionary.
I mean, it was basically this Jaws was around the time where a franchise had
Paved
like
the way for
something good,
Avatar.
and then it became a parody of itself after that first point.
Jump the shark.
No,
Yes. And then Jaws
That's Happy
Revenge is about a shark chasing the lineage of the, like literally it's going after the son and
like
family
crows.
of the
It's a horror movie.
The shark gets vengeance.
the shark seeks vengeance.
Vendetta.
It's Jaws' revenge in some sort of ways.
Is it like Jaws' girl or child?
I think it's
Remember when
Jaws' son.
dies at the end of the
Okay.
first one.
So I mean, Jaws is mostly bad. Jaws 1 is great. It's one of the best. But
this is the hardest one to justify a
accident-
first movie carrying it.
Yeah.
Kind of accidentally great because like it wasn't like the shark was broken, so they had to never show it.
Which is
find that
awesome.
hard to believe.
You think that's a story?
I find
You
that
think
hard.
it's
That
story?
seems like something you say after the fact.
Well,
I'm like, the
no.
whole movie is designed, or like, how do you imagine it where it's like, da-da-da, oh, there it is, it's shots of the shark, it's it's jumping out of the water. Like, it just doesn't make sense in that movie at all.
They had to repurpose the original script for the ride.
yeah,
The grenade launcher for the tour
the-
guide.
Yeah, for the tour guide. That's
Ryan,
right.
you're gonna vote for Jaws?
Well, this is a very interesting
You're
thing.
such a contrarian.
It reminds me of I have the same relationship with Harry Potter that I have to the Lord of the Rings, where I haven't read one Lord of the Rings or Harry Potter book. So I went to every movie, and everybody that I knew had seen these movies and stuff. So they were kind of like, "Oh man, that's the way they did that scene was so awesome and stuff." And I was just seeing the films, and I gotta say, I really hated almost all of them. There was one or two where I'm like, oh, "Okay, this is cool," but the whole time I'm like, "What the fuck is going on?" Everyone can do anything. It seems like, and to me,
magic.
It's
that's the thing. It's too much
You
magic.
know?
I do think it's a little hard to follow if you have no
There you go.
like relation to the books, because similar case, never read any of it, watched some of the movies, was very confused most of the time. But you can
thank you.
kind of follow them. But the people that are like, "Oh, I love this part," are the people that read it.
I like the movies for their ambiance and the world that it kind of lets you step into and experience. But I completely agree with Ryan that I do think that the script adaptation of basically 4 and on is not for anyone who hasn't read the book.
That's
Thank you.
It's
Yeah.
like they just
Nonsensical.
went, we're gonna flip
like
the
Cloud
pages. We'll make that scene, and that scene, and because like when Snape goes, "I am the Half-Blood Prince," I was like, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
Like, and that's
Yeah,
the
they
climax
really
of the movie.
played
What's
that
a horror?
down.
No idea what that is.
Let's
So-
introduce Dobby in the second movie, not have him in the next 4 movies,
Yeah,
and then have him
exactly.
show up and die. In the
So-
I
second
never
to last
saw
one.
the one where he died. So when at the end when
He
he showed
what?
up and it was like, oh, he saved everything. I'm like, who the fuck is this character?
It's Yoda.
There's like a whole unionization story with the house elves that
I ended up
involves
seeing
Hermione.
it eventually.
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
sock.
I will say about Harry Potter though, I never seek it out. If it's on already, I will
Yeah.
sit down and watch
Christmas
it.
time, maybe
Yeah.
Harry Potter comes on.
Like I remember, I think the last time I watched them was like 4 or 5 years ago because it was like one of those Harry Potter weekends on. I think it was still ABC Family or maybe recently Freeform, and then I just sat down for like 8 hours and I was like, well, here we go. But like I'm never. It's like popcorn. I don't
Yeah.
go out of my way to make it, but if it's put in front of me, I'm gonna eat the whole bowl.
Yeah. Let's go ahead and say that J.K. Rowling then went on to screenwrite the Fantastic Beasts movies. and
Don't
it was-
forget Casual Vacancy.
Oh, of course, of course.
Yeah, I'm not
And
even talking
those
about
movies-
All right,
Fucking
yeah, I think
awful.
we should move on and vote. Are we?
Last thing I was going to
hands
think
or-
of Jaws is that
Yeah.
it's a lot like Friday, like Halloween and all these movies where it's a great first template for a movie. They basically made a monster kind of horror movie about a shark, and then the rest of the sequels kind of suck. But like to me, it was so important for cinema, which I've said a lot in this podcast, that I think that I'm going to vote for Jaws.
Okay.
Okay, right hand Jaws, left hand Harry Potter. Let's vote. Everyone ready?
Yes.
3, 2, 1.
All right. No, fuck.
Technically, mine is a
left.
vote for Wizard People, Dear Reader.
Mine's a spite vote.
Valid. That's
Purely.
very valid.
I think Jaws just doesn't have enough going for it other than the first one.
It's just
God
Jaws.
damn you.
The
It's
only
just
thing I know of
Jaws.
the-
We should get a. Sorry, go ahead.
The only thing I know of the later movies is like that Jaws crashes through the glass. I don't know what the
In
context.
3, he breaks into the water park. Yes.
Oh,
and
that's-
it looks really great when you have your red and blue 3D glasses on. No, it doesn't.
Is
All right, Jacob.
is Jaws Universal?
Yes.
So we could get a Quint series on Peacock.
Yes.
Black as a doll's eyes.
Jacob.
Let's go. Evil Dead DCEU.
Oh, hell
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, there's 2 left.
So,
Yep.
yeah, I did put The Evil Dead on this list specifically for Ryan. I like those movies just fine.
Thank you.
And I don't necessarily think there's anything in the DC cinematic universe that's like great. There's some good movies, some fun, or at least fun movies.
You seen the Suicide Squad yet?
Yeah, I'm the only person on earth that didn't like that movie, apparently.
I saw you guys talking about it on Twitter. You had complicated, nuanced opinions about it.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence about it, but, yeah.
But the whole, so there's a lot going in DCEU.
The fact that that's the zenith. That's,
but there's a lot more than there is in the Evil Dead.
I don't think quantity should be counted in these situations.
I think it should, only because we're talking about franchises.
I guess you're right.
Legacy.
It should be
So
counted.
there's a lot. There's a TV show now that people say is
Because again,
good.
we didn't include Paddington 1 and 2. because
I was
we
going to
did
go to
not
bat
want-
for those. I even said so
It got
specifically.
cut. Sorry. Paddington was on the list at one point.
Yeah.
I have a question,
Yeah.
a clarifying question.
Yes.
Is this specifically, I know it says DCEU, but I have to ask, does this include the Nolan Batmans?
Yeah.
Oh, so it's DC.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Oh boy.
I think
great
so
question.
because, I mean, that's the best thing that DC's got. Like,
Yeah.
DC has
Does
Batman.
this include Batman
Well, what
and
about
Robin?
Catwoman? The
Yes,
basketball
it
scene?
includes all of Batman and all of Superman.
Oh, wow.
So the original Superman.
Quest for Peace?
Yeah, and Quest for
Sorry, Evil Dead.
Peace.
Ryan, you're gonna
MCU
have to
does
defend
not
them.
have Richard Pryor.
It's true. Very true.
Ryan, you got to save Evil Dead.
Name me one film in the entire DCEU that is better than the Army of Darkness. I'll wait.
Army of
Dark
Darkness is
Knight.
great,
Yeah.
but yeah.
It also has some of the words.
Dark Knight, is that the top? Is that the best DC movie? Dark Knight? Is that better than the first Superman movie?
Is that or Aquaman?
I love Aquaman.
I haven't
I
seen
enjoyed
Aquaman.
it.
I guess
love
I
it.
could have
It's
picked
fun.
something
If
dumber.
you like stupid,
it's nuts.
stupid
Yeah.
fun, it's stupid fun.
So was
From
Evil
James
Dead.
Wan, the architect behind the Cuckoo.
Oh, that's right.
All right, look, Evil Dead is maybe a selfish choice. Army of Darkness, changed the trajectory of my life, I would say.
How's that?
I watched that film and I'm like, as it's every scene that's unfolding is like the geyser of blood comes up and stuff. I'm like, this is the best movie ever. I want to make movies like this. This is like, it made me discover Sam Raimi, who's now still, my, I would say, biggest influence in terms of my cinematic,
Honestly, great and
cinema
powerful.
stuff. Yeah, but no, but they're not that good. But still, I love Sam Raimi. I love Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, Evil Dead 1. I love the Ash vs. Evil Dead. It's just fun horror comedy, which is,
I love the
I can't
tone
really-
of that series.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because
Bruce
it does.
Campbell,
It's like
yeah.
over the top gore.
Yes.
With really slapsticky humor.
And they got progressively like that. Like the first one's pretty straight horror, but with some just weird, stuff. But then it got more insane as it went on, which I like.
The second one, they basically just were like, all right, we have a budget now. Let's make the first one,
Yeah.
but like
They
way more
remade
fun.
them,
Yeah, I did like that because when I watched the first one, I was like, huh, okay.
The second one's incredible.
Then I watched, the second one. I was like, oh, I see now. Yeah,
Yeah.
they did never mind.
That's the one everyone talks about. When you say, oh, I love Evil Dead, no one's talking about Evil Dead
Right.
1.
I do think you're not alone in the fact. I do think a lot of people see those movies and they're like, I want to make movies like this. There's some aspect of those films that are like, oh, I can do this. I should do stuff like this. It's
creative.
like an achievable, inspirational thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm sure some people see The Dark Knight like, I want to make movies, but it's like there's a different level there.
That's
It's-
true.
It's like I'm not going to be able to make a movie like that, but I might be able to make a.
Evil Dead 1 made in Tennessee too.
I also read If This Chin Could Talk. The Bruce Campbell story.
It's hard though. I mean, you're talking about the DCEU there's so many movies.
There's a lot.
compared to 5 movies in a TV
High
show.
heights and low lows.
Yeah. I mean, there's some atrocious films in there for sure.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought up how many movies there are because I like the Evil Dead remake.
Remake is great.
It's great.
The remake is
Fede
fantastic.
Alvarez is awesome.
It is. It's genuinely fantastic.
When did that
Who
come
made that
out?
movie?
Fede Alvarez or Alvarez, something like
Was
that.
that recent?
Yeah, in the last 10 years.
yeah.
And then he
Okay.
made Don't Breathe. Come out with the second.
Right, which I've heard the second one is vastly not as good.
It's called Hold Yo Breath.
Just yo.
yeah. It's weird. They went in a different direction.
I do think we need to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just get
James.
this one over with.
I'm gonna go DC again. It may have been closer if it wasn't including the Dark Knight trilogy, but if it is, then I'm sorry.
I guess
I wish I could.
I understand.
I don't technically know if
Maybe just
whatever
DC.
people are calling the DCEU, if that includes that stuff, but I'm including it.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay,
Just like-
Yeah,
just
it's
the same as
yeah.
when we get to the MCU. That's all the Spider-Man.
Yeah,
movies,
yeah, I gotcha.
Okay.
And the Captain America one that
Yes.
came out in the 80s.
Yes. I think I
And
also
Wonder
have to
Woman.
go DCEU because Batman. I think Nolan's Batman series is pretty great, and the original Superman movie is great. There's just more going on.
Okay.
It's hard to compare a movie with like one character to a franchise that's got dozens of
with a
characters.
man who with a chainsaw for an arm.
That is
Yeah.
cool.
Who's a better superhero in the DCU? No one has a chainsaw for their arm.
I mean, there could be a whole chainsaw person.
You don't have to talk to us, okay? We are the stars of Deadly Evil, a
Oh, yeah,
college
yeah.
short
Oh,
film
okay.
trilogy.
I do love The Evil Dead.
Where I played Vash
yeah.
or something.
Vash.
Yeah, and
don't
I
remember
had
my guy's name.
a dustbuster for a hand.
Oh,
I
okay.
shot,
We're
I
very
shot
familiar.
James with lightning.
Yeah, we're
talking
very
about our
awesome.
college project here. Charlotte, where do you land?
DC.
Yeah, Jacob.
You know what, Ryan? I think I'm gonna get on that Evil Dead train.
Thank
Doing
you.
it.
Listen,
It doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything.
I know it doesn't matter.
Consolation
but like,
prize.
I think like my introduction to watching any DC stuff was probably like the Nolan Batman movies, which for me is like it's like I like them all, but Dark Knight's like the big one, and then after that, I just didn't really care about most of them. Maybe like Shazam or whatever.
My ride or
Oh,
die.
yeah.
What
I
a
start
weird
to see
world we live in.
Shazam, Philadelphia
except for
hero.
Shazam.
Well, I feel like I was fucked from the start with this one because
Yeah.
it's like if it
Ryan.
was against any other franchise, I think it would have had a chance.
Then you would
but
have had to choose between Evil Dead and Mad Max.
That's
I think
hard.
that-
I
What's
know.
going on, Omar?
Do none of the cartoons count for the DC universe?
Sure.
Like the animated. Big
Why not?
I mean, there
It's
are
all
so
DC.
many
Oh,
good
shit, never mind. Sorry, Ryan.
animated
That Batman cartoon is pretty.
I didn't know the cartoons counted.
groundbreaking.
I rescind
The
my
Mask of the
vote.
Phantom.
No, I'm not. I mean, the animated series for sure, but like there are so many movies, animated movies.
Flashpoint,
Right,
good
right?
Mask of the
movies.
Phantasm.
People like that.
The last thing we have in the first part of this bracket is the MCU versus the Alien franchise.
Oh God.
Interesting.
There's a lot of great Alien stuff, but just the sheer volume of shit that's in the MCU is
It's
going to be hard. But there's a lot of good Alien movies.
This is David versus Goliath.
Yeah.
But I don't think David's going to
Oh,
win.
no.
What's the good alien stuff to you, Dan?
aliens.
Aliens.
Yeah.
Aliens.
Yes,
I'm
I
probably
agree.
one of the few people on the planet who actually liked Prometheus, not because of the story, but because of the production design. I think
Yeah,
it's
but
a
that's-
really cool looking movie.
Yeah, but
I don't care. You know,
I mean, I'll go to
story's
an art
good.
museum.
Well, yeah. There's stuff that's in what was the Covenant is similar. Like I like what Ridley Scott does
didn't like
production design wise. The story, at a certain point, I don't give a shit about the story
Yeah.
anymore. I'm here to look at something cool.
With Prometheus and Covenant for me, like I would have maybe given it a little bit more credit if every character wasn't so fucking dumb.
Yeah, that is a
it's
huge
so
problem.
frustrating. Like,
Oh, what's in here?
Is it Covenant where like there's a little baby alien comes out of a dude's back, and both characters that are dealing with slip in blood and fall on the ground. Then another person comes in with a shotgun, slips in the blood. And I was like, oh my god.
it's more the
That's
whole
real.
like when anytime you're making a movie and you're writing it and then you forgot to read what the previous scene was about when you write the next scene and you've forgotten and you're like I'm sure it'll be fine and you're like, oh, the cartographer is lost. You're like, why did you tell me that this is the person that they brought here to know? Like, the biologist is doing some stupid like. There's a point in Prometheus where they find a dead organism and the biologist is like, oh, no, I couldn't possibly. And then later on, they find something that has razor blades for teeth and he's like, I'm going to touch it. It's just like, you forgot what you just told us about this character so you could get to this thing. Yes,
I'm
it is very
definitely not
beautiful.
gonna
It's
defend
very
any of the
beautiful, though,
characters.
but
I
it
think
is
we-
dumb as hell.
I think we can all agree to just leave Prometheus by the wayside and just agree it's a really good movie and talk about the MCU.
Okay, all right.
Finally.
I'm sure everyone's exhausted by talking about the MCU.
I don't
but
want it to win.
It's
I'm
like-
just so
there's a
tired.
lot. There's a lot there, and
There's a
fun
lot of movies I like in the MCU, but like I am kind of just tired.
It's just so much.
Like especially after watching like Black Widow and even like that second Spider-Man movie. Like
Yeah.
there are parts I enjoy, but I'm just like I don't really.
Loki made me excited about Marvel again, and then Black Widow took me back
yeah.
to square
Yeah.
one.
I
think-
like the TV stuff.
I think we take for granted the MCU and the insane accomplishment it is.
It's absurd.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
It's
why
absurd.
I also have fatigue. It's like 25 movies. Of course, no matter how great they are, we're going to have a little bit of fatigue. But I do think, if I think about all of them, like, wow, Guardians was really great. Doctor Strange, I had a lot of fun. You know, Iron Man 3 was insane and a weird Shane Black movie, you know, in this superhero world. And then Aliens, I'm agreeing with you that it's like I like the alien surgery scene. I like little parts of all
that
the
part's
movies.
cool.
But I don't love the only one I love is Aliens, and then Alien is pretty impressive. But and then I'm a Prometheus apologist as well.
Oh, hey, there's a few of us here.
I don't usually talk about it, but now that you're out in the open about it, I'm cool.
If the movie would be better served as a coffee table book, it's probably not a very good movie.
That goes against what I was about to say,
What were
which
you
is
gonna
I was
say?
going to say it has such an iconic visual style.
That's exactly in line.
Yeah,
I would love if I
I
had a
know,
book
but you're
called Prometheus,
disparaging it.
And then I went, hey, look at that. Oh, hey,
Look at that donut.
And then I push it away, and then I'd be done with it.
I feel like just looking at, I just watched Aliens like 2 weeks ago again. So
The extended version where they focus more on the colony, or
no, I don't think
Okay.
so.
All right.
Okay, I'm sorry. Well, it actually was not. I think it's through 1 and 2, like is it Giger or Geiger? How do you pronounce
Giger.
Giger, yeah.
I said Geiger my whole life until I learned it's
HR,
Giger.
yeah. I just say HR. We're really close.
Nice.
But like just that, like it's so iconic and so indicative that I feel like it's really powerful. Whereas the MCU has kind of got a common wink, wink, nudge, nudge among it, besides the shared story and characters and overarching stuff. I think MCU is gonna beat it out as a franchise. It's just this juggernaut, but.
Visual design wise, the MCU's kind of bland.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
visually and musically,
Most of the time.
I would
there's
say
like
Guardians looks
Yeah.
almost as good as Prometheus.
Doctor Strange is.
This is the only thing I liked.
Cool.
But I like that about Doctor Strange is that it's weird. That's the only time I liked a bunch of CG.
Except Guardians is also
that was originally
fun to
Johnny
watch.
Depp.
Yeah.
Yes. oh yeah.
And at the end, we're like,
Sam
I care
Raimi's
about
doing a second.
aliens.
Sam Raimi's doing
Oh, we are adding shit. Do we get to add Predator to the Aliens universe?
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
right,
Add Predator
right.
now. You opened up a can
Wait,
of worms.
yeah.
Holy shit! What do we think about the
I
Predator?
mean, but then so now what do we get? We
One
have
more
Predator.
good movie.
yeah.
yeah,
good
but
movie.
Predators 2 is cool with Danny Glover.
Briefly talk
I'm
about
an apologist for that too.
Shane Black Predator.
I think you're right. I think it is Predators.
There's like a joke movie.
yeah, and that one I like that movie too. That
like
one's
the
funny.
movie? I like
I like
Shane
any
Black
Shane
has
Black
both
movie.
done MCU and Predator. He has to be
And The
removed
Nice
from
Guys.
the discussion.
Yeah.
He's
The
That's
nice
true.
guys.
He
verse.
sold himself.
He cancels himself
Yeah.
out.
I just want to hear that.
we have to vote.
Yeah,
Like,
we got to
awesome
move
scream.
on.
MCU.
Is this is hands?
We should
right?
do hands, yeah.
All right. Right hand Alien and Predator universe. Left hand MCU. Everybody vote in 3, 2, 1.
Ryan's right. It's an
It's
accomplishment.
an accomplishment. Yeah.
And I forget that sometimes. And I should feel really bad.
You should be grateful.
Yeah,
I should be grateful.
For what Disney did
Shovel
for
it
you.
into my mouth, Bob Iger.
Let me eat the slop, Disney.
Give me a
It's delicious.
big fucking straw because I'm excited for the new Spider-Man.
All right. Moving quickly if we can. I forget when we started this, so I have no idea how long.
We've been
this is
going almost an hour.
Oh boy. Mad Max and DC Extended Universe. This is tough because just the sheer volume of movies versus 4.
The volume is pretty high on Fury Road, but the audio.
He
just turned it up. Yeah.
Okay.
And they've got the one
Okay.
in the
Okay.
car with the speakers and the
The Ayatollah of rock and roll.
It makes
Oh.
me seem like maybe I shouldn't be on this panel because of how I'm going to do it. But
Do for it.
having knocked off Mission Impossible, I am going to
What?
vote against Mad
You
Max.
can't do
for
it that
spite.
way.
For pure spite.
I love Spite.
Spite vote the same way, the same creativity that you got a Shrek is going to cast my vote for this one.
Look, I like the Mission Impossible series infinitely more than any DCU thing. The only one I've really kind of liked is the Suicide Squad, and I have a lot of problems with it. And still, it was a fun movie, but Mission Impossible was way better. So out of spite for that, I'm going to vote for Mad Max.
I don't think that's how spite works. You want Mad Max.
I want Mad Max to win. Because all the things I said about it before with the world building and how awesome it is and
okay.
how weird it is.
So it's love, it's adoration, it's
Yeah,
positivity. It's actually really nice.
He just focused on the negative side of a positive thing.
As we all
Right.
should.
All right.
negative
Okay.
side.
What is ever? I'm curious what everyone else thinks.
Yeah, I don't
All right, push the vote.
Push the vote. We
Mad
can
Max.
vote. I mean,
I say Mad Max.
Thank
wow,
you.
Jacob.
It's just because like
more than the 50 DCU movies and
That all
Batman
suck.
Returns.
I like that there's not that much. It's just like it's a little more consumable for me because. I mean, I'm going to go on to defend all these Star Wars things. So
Yeah.
Right. No, wait, this is nothing. We're looking at Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Like we're looking down the barrel at the end.
I
of
just
all
like Fury Road a lot.
movies.
I like Fury Road a lot, but there's more good Batman movies
That's true.
than there are Mad Max movies.
But as a franchise, right? No one really thinks about the Nolan. I know that it's technically in the fucking thing, but like these are separate things to me. The DCEU is the most disjointed, all over the place franchise in this whole thing because it's like you don't connect these movies really together like the Marvel movies. Like that, Marvel movies feel like one. DCU feels all over the place, which I think should count off for it in the franchise.
I don't think
more.
anyone can argue that the DCEU is completely disjointed and all over the place.
And that's why you should vote for Mad Max.
I'll stand with you, Ryan, on this one.
But I mean, there isn't a through line through all the Bond movies either.
No.
Well,
It's equally incoherent, I would say.
I
Charlotte.
think you're right.
A lot of power.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Mad Max.
Whoa!
Because we have talked so much about franchises that have burned out after one great movie, and to see one culminate in an incredible movie speaks so
Get
much
better.
to all that comes before
It's,
it.
it's
Well
rare.
spoke.
I love Mission Impossible, and I love Spite, and I love wallowing in it. However, I really like Furiosa.
Yeah.
Mad Max did have to take like 30 years off
Yeah.
before it came back. And they're going to do a Furiosa potentially, which is probably not going to be very good.
Probably not.
30 years and 2 happy feet
Or
later.
wait, George Miller's back for it, right?
They
Yeah,
had to
but
pay him.
Charlize is not going to be back.
He held out because
Yeah,
they wouldn't
it's,
pay him money.
Yeah.
It's hard to make those when you're in your 80s.
Well, now we get to watch Mad Max get destroyed by some Disney
Ha, ha,
garbage.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, we should make it official,
But
but
you vote. What do you
This
vote?
is like
I mean,
the end of
just because of
Ragnarok.
Batman, I would
when
go
they get
DC,
out,
but-
and
so
Thanos kills
DC,
them all.
Yeah,
DC.
and then the three
the
y'all are
point?
Mad
Mad
Max.
Max.
Mad Max.
Wow.
Jacob?
We.
what do we
All
yell
right.
now? What's the thing we yell?
Fuck you, Batman.
Witness me!
Witness me! Witness us! Witness us!
That's bait.
I love all those frames when they're doing it.
So this is actually
Careful,
an
Dan.
interesting conversation. This next one, Star Wars and Marvel, all currently owned by the same massive, scary
Yeah.
corporation.
These are all starting to narrow down to three big corporations.
But I mean, these might be the two very biggest film franchises
Listen,
that exist.
They are.
like Star Wars.
Yeah.
That's my argument. I'm just kidding.
So
Watch any video from our catalog.
Similar to MCU has a problem where there's a lot of great movies,
Yeah.
and there's a lot of trash.
I don't know that there's a lot of trash in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's a lot of mediocre.
Yeah, there's a
it
lot of,
feels
like,
like
duds.
a lot of
it's
mealy filler.
You know, yeah,
Yeah.
it's filler, but I don't know that there's not many things in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that I
Yeah.
would say is trash explicitly.
Yeah,
they
like-
they pale in comparison to some of the things that they stand next to. I would say there is trash in Star Wars.
Yeah, like I love Star Wars. Like because I grew up as a kid watching the prequel. And no, believe it or not, Ryan, I love Star Wars. Like I don't think any of the prequels are good movies. Like I enjoy watching them immensely. But whoa, careful!
Sorry,
It's the stabilizer.
That was my knee.
And then like I enjoyed Force Awakens. I found things to like in Last Jedi. I know I'm an apologist for it. And then like Rise of Skywalker is like a fucking disaster. And then like the TV stuff, like Mandalorian, I enjoyed that. I watched those like all those cartoons and stuff. There's a lot of good things there. But yeah, I don't know.
Really?
And like, I mean, like also the stuff that like making Star Wars has done for the industry. Well, when I brought
reason
up
we have
Attack of the
special
Clones,
effects.
yeah, when I brought up Attack of the Clones earlier, sort of as a joke, it's like that's like the first big movie that was filmed digitally, and like that paved the way for.
Attack of the Clones gave us Jumper
Yes, exactly.
Thank God.
It gave Hayden Christensen work.
for a little.
To me, this is such an easy decision.
Really?
Yeah, like Star Wars is the
Really?
is the right choice in this situation. Yeah, Marvel's cool and important for all the reasons we talked about before, but Star Wars is the ultimate franchise that started the franchising of all of the things.
I think
get
it's
that.
because of the toys that we have half of this stuff.
I get
Well,
that.
I think because of like what you said about Mad Max earlier, like even if I wasn't a big Star Wars person, I'd still like that there's like the world and stuff.
Yeah, and the world building's way better than in the Marvel. thing.
I'll say this. Marvel it starts in certain places and it moves on into other things. The fact that Star Wars cannot step away for 2 fucking seconds from where it began leads me to believe that it isn't as deep as it isn't as deep in the mind of the creators as it is in the mind of the audience. And I think that cinematically, Star Wars is infinitely smaller than Marvel.
What about the Ewok movies?
Oh, they're great. What about
not
the
including the Ewok movies?
Remember when Chewbacca's father watches porn in the living room?
I've railed on it before, but I can't stand. I'm so fucking tired of Luke Skywalker and everything Skywalker.
I am
and
too.
The fact that we have 9 movies that constantly circle that drain, it's exhausting. It's not tiring. It's not fun.
I do remember thinking during it's like the second season of Mandalorian, and they're like hinting at some like references to those like sequel movies. I was like, no, please.
It could have been its own thing.
Yeah, don't get any closer.
It could have been its own thing. Whereas in Marvel, there's stuff that is all that just serve as building blocks to get us to the Infinity Wars or whatever, the end games and stuff like that. But then you get other times, you get Guardians of the Galaxies, you get these things that feel like someone pulling the cord on a lawnmower and you're started back up again. And they seem to at least be aware of that, where no one working on Star Wars they're like, no, if we step too far away, people are going to leave. It's like, I desperately want something new. So that for me is way easier to pick Marvel overall.
It's something that I appreciated with like the prequel movies. It's like, they weren't great movies. Like the craft that was put in them was great. But like, even if George Lucas is like a crazy person, he was trying to do something different and weird in those movies, even if it didn't end up getting executed well. But then like those sequel movies, it's all like, it's all that soft reboot stuff.
The entire concept of prequels to begin with, that which is such a big part of these modern franchises and stuff, it does come from episode 1, 2, and 3. I feel like it. When that was announced, I was like, what? They're gonna make a whole new trilogy from more, and it was like, that's so crazy. What an idea! But now, it's not weird to make Black Widow the prequel to this movie or whatever. It's just kind of a thing. So I think he gave us the prequel as well as everything else Star Wars
He gave us Sebulba, and that's why I vote Star Wars.
I think this is an interesting argument. I think this is hard for me to pick. I think both of them, they hit those nostalgia buttons. They're these massive universes with so much creativity and so many ideas, and there's a lot going for both of them. I'm very torn, honestly.
Just remember, when Toy Story's up there, that's also George. You got to thank George for that too.
Thank you, George.
Thanks for making Pixar.
I think for me, seeing these two up against each other, I feel like Endgame was amazing, and I feel like Marvel, they're so good at knowing what audiences want, and they deliver on that. Like, it's perfectly crafted to like hit the right taste buds. It's like, but I feel like also the Iron's cools a little bit the second like the output isn't as good, and like it's all condensed to like what was like 2008 was the first Iron Man.
Like that,
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, and so like it's just all happened at once, and I feel like if they slow down or if they don't keep making it bigger, it will fade a little bit more. Whereas like Star Wars has persisted in a way, even I would say despite quality at times. In that like it doesn't just span like all these different movies. Like it spans literal time and pop culture, and has like evolved to maybe not the best way all the time, but also I feel like it's stuck in the consciousness in a way that it's going to continue to have staying power. And
just like Palpatine coming back for the third.
Well, Exegol has been important the whole time. And
I don't want to.
we know that.
If we talk about Rise of Skywalker, Marvel,
Every ship has a Death Star on it. That's bigger.
Yeah,
we went bigger.
Palpatine's play. Just put dicks on all the Star Destroyers.
I think we need to vote so we can keep going.
Wait. Before you vote, I don't know if anybody mentioned this yet, but when you think about Marvel, you have to think about the pure ambition of starting something like that and having it pay off how many years later? And like, it may not have been all 100% intentional, but like, dude, that's crazy that they were able to carry that through for what, 10 years or something?
So obviously I'm more Marvel side, but like I think that there's the inherent difference here is Star Wars is, I don't know, George Lucas didn't, A New Hope isn't even George Lucas's vision for Star Wars. His vision sucked, and 2 other people had to come in and make it better. And so, but Star Wars has constantly been this like grabbing, whereas Marvel is more of a let's kind of like figure out what's our plan for the next 5 years. So that's
true.
why Marvel, I think, feels more like things can be steps, whereas Star Wars feels like it's other things.
Falling down. It's like falling down the
It
stairs.
feels unpredictable. Like
Marvel does?
No,
Star
Star
Wars.
Wars.
Yeah,
Star
that's
Wars.
what I'm saying because they don't know the fuck is going on.
That's fine.
I don't think this.
But they
this-
still come back to the same.
I wish they had planned
thematic
out the new
garbage.
trilogy
Oh,
more.
boy.
I wish that
I agree with the
they
new
didn't-
trilogy, but I think up until that point, filmmaking didn't exist in a way that you could plan 10 movies existing. Like that just wasn't a thing until part of the way through the MCU. I don't
'cause-
think they started the MCU or even were like 8 films into the MCU and they're like, we're gonna have Thanos in 8 movies and people are gonna go ape shit. Like
no.
I think that was creative after the fact.
Yeah, I'm not arguing, but
Like,
I'm
there's
not
no
arguing
master
against 4,
plan.
5, and 6.
Introduced
There's
him
no
in
master plan
2012.
when Iron Man was made.
George
But there
didn't
was a
finish
master
it.
plan.
Yeah, Thanos was in
Avengers.
Avengers.
There was a
That's
master
2012.
plan for 1, 2, and 3 of Star Wars. And it was not. It was like, okay, why did you show me this?
He
Why
didn't
is-
finish the script until like 2 weeks before filming the third movie.
So like, I don't know. We think we should just vote.
Let's just vote.
too.
because I think it's just.
I still don't know which
I
way
want to
I'm
talk
going.
about
I
Harry
agree. I'm
Potter. and
very
Indiana
split on
Jones.
this.
We should do hands.
All right, Star Wars right hand, Marvel left hand.
I don't know what I'm going to vote for.
I have no idea. You don't know?
3.
Use the full shot.
Wait, Marvel's left hand? I
Yes.
forgot the system.
Yes. Yeah, the
Marvel's
top
left.
one is right hand. The bottom
Wars
is
Wars
right.
right hand.
Okay.
So don't know why my right hand for it.
That might have just swayed me.
Yeah, if you ever needed a final argument.
Right. All right. Let's go with Marvel on this
3, 2, 1.
Star Wars.
I think Star Wars won.
Wow.
Barely. Wow.
God, are you
shit.
kidding me? It's
shit.
so bad.
What are you talking about?
Wait.
What are you talking about?
I went for Marvel.
Mismanaged
Who
franchise.
went for,
Dan
who
went
went for
for Star
what?
Wars.
You two and Dan went for Star Wars, and we went
Yeah.
Yeah, because we're in the right.
What
know
are
what
you
we're
talking about?
Hey,
The Fast and the Furious out in the very first
Omar, I
section
asked
of
you
the
to be
first
on this
episode.
podcast.
And then
And you said you had
the
no
Marvel
interest.
universe
What
that
is
they
he
had
holding
put
up?
together
No
for
interest
so
in being on
many
the
years.
podcast.
Over Star Wars? Oh my god.
George had the vision for those 9 movies back in the 70s. I know it.
He didn't have the vision for the first one. They put it together. He's like,
You don't
it's
know
done.
that.
And they were like, George, this is trash.
I don't know that. He's worth $6 billion.
I'm surprised.
All
that
I
you
can
gotta keep
say, all I can say, it's good that this podcast is fucking over with.
Yeah,
this
I agree,
thing.
Omar. We came to a good end.
Honestly,
this is our end game.
I honestly thought you all were
People
going to
should
vote for
like what they
Marvel.
want to like. Calling someone an idiot for liking something is the most ridiculous thing.
Yeah,
ever.
you're an idiot. That's what we think.
wait.
That's not what I said.
I'm surprised at you all.
Actually, yeah.
I was ready to go down alone with Star Wars there.
Unbelievable. We
Yeah.
got to keep going.
Yeah, Indiana Jones and Harry Potter.
Oh god.
This is easy for me.
Is this another Spike?
I think Indiana Jones is iconic, and it's something from my youth, something that I think holds up.
First vote.
Harry Potter just was never my thing. I enjoy it. I like the world at Universal.
Yeah.
Like honestly, like going there and hanging out. I think that's really cool. But
Rides count in franchises? I don't
sure,
know. Okay.
It's a statement of the ambiance.
And the Indiana
It's a
Jones stunt
statement
show
of
takes the
ambiance.
cake.
exactly.
That's true.
But there are younger people than me here that might think Harry Potter's
I'm
a
throwing in
bigger
for Indiana
franchise.
Jones.
Yeah.
All right. Indiana Jones.
I'm jonesing for some Jones, baby.
Or Jonesing, baby.
I'm going to
Push
go
it.
Potter. Formally, I'm voting for Potter.
Okay.
All right.
Even though it looks like it's not going to pass, but
Okay. Yeah. Let's do this officially. Indiana Jones.
Potter.
Jones.
Jacob.
Jones.
Junior.
What?
Okay.
Junior.
This is a little surprising.
We named the dog Potter.
I'm surprised too. I figured people would have more ownership over the Harry Potter franchise.
I'm nostalgic for
I
Harry
might
Potter,
have
but-
2 years ago.
Okay.
I was going to say, I'm trying to hold these movies in a different situation.
Oh, Rocky and Jurassic Park. Someone else has got to take some arguments here because this might be the
I'm
thing I
going-
care the least
Let
about.
me build on what I said before. There is one good Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
There's one good Jurassic Park movie. Rocky has like one bad movie.
That's pretty.
I would say
impressive.
though that there's also like, do you like boxing or dinosaurs more? And
Oh, I do like dinosaurs
I'm
more
a
than
dinosaur
boxing.
man.
You like cars or pirates?
middle of the table.
That's what I'm saying. I want to watch a
I mean,
dinosaur
so
movie more than
you're
a boxing
boiling the
movie.
argument down to something I can understand.
Oh,
Thank
my
you very
God.
much.
We need a T-Rex statue outside of the Philadelphia Art Museum.
If Jurassic Park was the story of the T-Rex and we had been following what this T-Rex has been through all of this
What are you
stuff,
talking
then I
about?
would say maybe Jurassic
What
Park.
are you talking about?
I watched that movie.
Story of the T-Rex.
That's what
You
I'm
need
just
children
saying.
in there mucking about and ruining things for the adults.
It was just like we built a car with Grandpa, and then they put a battery in it. I'm like, why did you tell? I'm not stupid. Just have the kids put a battery in it. Jimmy Fallon isn't in any of the Rockies. There.
You might have just Jar Jarred it for
You might have
me.
won
Yeah.
the argument there.
So I'm going Rocky.
Does anyone want to talk about this anymore, or can we
only
vote?
seen
We can
one
push the
Rocky
vote.
movie.
I don't, like this particular bracket, I'm not too invested in, but I
Same.
do think Rocky should win this one.
I think Jurassic Park should win this one.
You like dinosaurs?
This might get a
like
little.
dinosaurs.
Jurassic Park has some of the worst movies
Rocky
that have been made. I'm
Rocky
talking
doesn't
about
have William
budget,
H.
with
Macy?
budget and oversight and
is
creative people involved.
That one
Jurassic
with
Park
the
has some
pompadour.
of the worst movies.
You like
Jurassic
you like
Dolph
Dol-
Lundgren.
is good.
Apollo
Wait.
Creed. These are characters that have just resonated. Rocky, Adrian, Mick.
The street fighting
These are
one is
things.
stupid, right?
Yeah, 5. I said it's the one bad one.
Okay, well that's what that's my Jurassic 3.
But even that, Tommy Gunn, you know the names of the participants.
I know T-Rex, I know Brontosaurus, I know Stegosaurus, I know all sorts of the
Is there a
characters in
Stegosaurus
Jurassic
in the
Park.
movie?
Yeah, probably.
Probably Raptor.
It may be in the background. I
Newton
mean, it's a
from Seinfeld.
triceratops that shits its
The
brains
blue
out and gets sick.
velociraptor that's
Yeah.
friends with Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
All right,
believe it was called
Rocky.
Blue.
Named Blue.
Yes, it was named Blue.
Let's-
It's Indominus Rex.
What are you voting for?
Let's vote. Rocky would be your right hand. Jurassic Park would be your left hand.
R for Rocky.
I'm
And you
listening this
raise
time,
which
I got
one
it.
you want to vote for.
I
Yes.
see.
I'm listening now.
3, 2, 1.
Thank God.
Fuck.
What?
Thank
I
God.
think,
didn't
I
raise
think
the right
you won
hand.
the argument.
You didn't raise the right hand. Sorry, that was
It's
aggressive.
a Wayne
I
Knight
get it. I
reference.
get the joke. I think there's more better quality.
There is.
Yeah.
It's because there is.
All right, put Rocky on the board.
Disagree.
But who am I?
I'm aligning with Ryan more than I expected.
Just a lowly dinosaur.
Yeah, I was
fan.
gonna say
Oh,
you
we're
might
getting
want
there.
to.
Oh my God, Star Wars should not have gotten this
That's
far.
when
You have taste.
That's when the edibles kick in. You're like, it's weird. 15 minutes ago, I didn't agree with them at all, but now I do, and I don't know what's changed.
Edibles with Jurassic Park.
Let's stay here on the bottom though, with Rocky and Indiana Jones.
Okay.
Because beat for beat, you would still be going with Rocky.
I would be
yes.
going Rocky again. I still think that Rocky has more to it over the course of the franchise. I mean, especially if you consider Creed. Creed is a spin-off movie based on the son of the antagonist from the first movie. It's
pretty wild that it's
fantastic. And then they were like, let's make another one. And they made another one. And you're like, holy shit, this is really good too.
That's been what's been tipping me over with Rocky is that Creed is so good as well. It's
Staying
just like
power, yeah. But that's,
I
that's the
think
Mad Max
If they
argument.
if they made a Mutt movie right now, does anyone think it would be good? Like Mutt was so bad that they were like, never mind, we're not going to do Mutt. Because there wasn't anything there. There was enough substance in the Rocky franchise that they could take a secondary character, have that character have a son, and then make that compelling.
So to have
That's
a
rare.
better argument, I would watch a Sala movie. Mutt's in the worst Indiana Jones movie. But
Solo,
pick the
100
best
Sala?
Indiana Jones movie.
not that one, not that
And
one.
well, you could go on the Indiana Jones ride where he does all the intro because they couldn't get Harrison. But
yeah.
So pick a spin-off character from the
Bad
first
dates.
one, and maybe I would watch that movie.
but they didn't do that.
No.
The weird thing about this matchup is that, yeah, Rocky's cool and all, but the most famous rock, I would say, in cinema is the one from Raiders of the Lost Ark. So,
Or darn you.
I'd like to change my vote formally.
That's somehow a more compelling argument than what do you like more, dinosaurs or boxing? You are just hitting on all cylinders.
Speaks to the common man.
It is a great rock. That opening, oh god, just that first tomb and then Belloc. I said it like a Lord of the Rings thing, but Belloc being there.
it like that?
I don't know.
We got
like-
to vote though.
Yeah, I think we
God,
need to move on.
Everyone gets what's coming to them in the end of Indiana Jones. It's like these just like fun little morality tales.
Yeah, there's no Nazis in Rocky.
Does it belong in a museum? No, it
There's
belongs
communists.
in the tomb where they left it.
Oh, that's true.
There's what?
There's communists, the Nazis of the 80s.
That's true.
Goddamn right, brother.
I just had, if I had seen more Rocky, like I haven't seen Creed. I've been meaning to see Creed, and I think it's kind of. I feel like I can't fairly or accurately rail against Rocky. So I have to go with Indiana Jones.
I'm in the same boat. I have not seen enough Rocky.
Oh my God!
Let's
What are
do
you
any
guys
of
doing
these
on this table? Who's sitting at this table right now? You haven't seen Rockies.
I've seen some Rockies. I don't care enough for him to see them all.
Adrian!
Unbelievable.
Indiana Jones, more important franchise.
I'm going to vote for Indiana Jones.
Okay.
James is going to vote for
I'm
Rocky.
voting Rocky.
Indiana Jones.
Ryan's going to vote for Indiana Jones.
I'm also voting for Rocky.
Indiana Jones.
Oh,
God, I'm not a tiebreaker. I said it the whole time.
Batting average is so good.
Jacob's the time.
So many good Rocky movies. He's not even doing the Indiana Jones theme to symbolize victory. He's doing the more iconic Rocky theme.
That was Indiana Jones beating up Rocky.
John
to the
Williams'
Rocky
ass is
theme
all
song.
over this.
I know. Oh my God.
Mad Max and Star Wars.
Mad Max.
Star Wars.
What?
Oh,
God.
Russell.
I don't believe either of these deserve to be here.
Well, they're here. So that's part of the thing about the tournament is that maybe the most deserved winner doesn't always win.
Oh, I
it's
know.
what
Triple
happens.
got marked out.
Evil
It's
Dead
what
got
happens
crossed
then
off
and
the
there.
first round.
Do
that
not,
person gets to move on.
my friends, become addicted to death sticks.
So a wild card can make it all the way just based on pure chance, and that's the exciting part about the tournament bracket.
The West Coast seemed pretty coherent. This East Coast, I don't know what happened over here.
Star Wars should not have gotten this far.
I mean, I'm going to vote for Star Wars over Mad Max. I like Fury Road.
Yeah.
I think Fury Road's a great movie.
Yeah.
But the pure imagination of Fury Road does not compete to the massive universe that Star Wars has given us. Games, TV shows,
Can't-
movies, like there's so much
You have so many more
that's come
matchups
from this one idea.
George Lucas is going to have his hands in 3
Oh my God.
of the 4 that are at the end.
I didn't think about
His
that.
little hands
And-
are going to be
Six
in
little
there.
baby
dollars,
hands.
And they made Indiana Jones because they couldn't make a Bond movie.
His waddle is quivering with excitement.
No, it's all beard. It's all
right.
beard.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Mad Max more. The franchise, you kind of got me down with, because this is the franchise war bracket. So
Right.
kind of like I said before, Star Wars started all this franchising stuff in my mind. You know, like it's fucking iconic. I'm still gonna go with Mad Max because I love it so much, and I can't get over how much I love it.
That's why
What's
I
the
vote for
best
Star
part
Wars.
of Beyond Thunderdome? The helicopter man?
No, Tina Turner.
Probably Master Blaster.
Isn't Helicopter Man and Road Warrior?
No, I can't. That's the thing is, like, I love Fury Road. I can't keep
we don't
the other
even
movies
fucking
straight.
know.
I'm just
Come
a big
on.
Mel Gibson
Road
fan.
Warrior is great. Which one's the Helicopter Man in? I don't know.
I don't.
And yet, Mission Impossible lies dead on the ground next to Fast and Furious in the first.
Fucked up. I'm going to continue to just keep flip-flopping on Mad Max and,
Great.
and using whatever argument works best for me in any specific
There you
scenario.
go.
And I'm going to have to give it to Star Wars.
Fuck. I think, it's
Yeah.
just tough here. So I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. If you vote for Star Wars, I'm not going to hold it against you. I'm going to be going Mad Max.
Yeah, listen.
we
like,
should
I
hold
think-
it against
I think
me.
I
after
think we
Return
need to do hands. We need to wrap this
Yeah,
up.
I think
Yeah.
after Return of the Jedi, there wasn't a good thing until Mandalorian. Even though I enjoyed the rest of it, except
I'm
for those.
surprised to hear all this anti-Star Wars rhetoric.
I
from
still
you
like
today.
watching it. I just
But
don't
they,
think.
honest
and
with
there's
themselves.
good stuff
Yeah.
It's
in the
almost
bad movies.
like Jacob's
There's
a
still a cool
three-dimensional
lightsaber
person.
fight in Phantom Menace.
Yeah.
What
Wait
if,
a minute.
What if Silent Night, Deadly Night were up there? Where was that?
That's what I'm saying. That got fucked
sorry,
in
Star
the,
Wars.
the preliminary round.
Anyways, I'm voting for Star
I
Wars.
made it to the end.
All right.
All right, yeah, right hand for Mad Max, left hand for Star Wars. Is that where we're? I forget what we're voting.
Left
Yeah,
hand
yeah.
for
The whole flip flop
Left hand
voting
Star
thing
Wars.
has gotten very confusing.
Left hand Star Wars.
left
Left hand Star Wars,
I'm
right
just
hand
holding
Mad
my hand
Max.
up now.
All right,
I'm
yeah.
holding my hand
I'm
up
gonna
now.
have to go with Star
Right hand.
Wars.
If I don't, I will collapse.
Okay.
Let's go. All right.
Look at this, Ryan. You have a friend again.
I
Star Wars. You voted.
Star
Was that
Wars.
just was
I
that
didn't
a-
have
Mad
to.
Max.
Hates the Star Wars.
I just cannot believe Star Wars is up there.
Hell yeah. Well,
If Rocky were there,
In your
Indiana
mouth.
Jones and Star Wars, there's no way.
It's not necessarily the best. Like the quality isn't necessarily.
I know.
I feel like
I
we've
know,
already
Dan.
decided this
Trust
one.
me, I know.
Just remember what
I'd like to
pal
offer
said.
one
Yeah.
last. Maybe we knock Bond off and put American Graffiti franchise in there too. How's that sound?
What about Strange Magic? Let's
I won. A river runs through it on this board
I need to
immediately.
see it.
We've got our final four:
hell yeah.
James Bond, Toy Story, Star Wars, and Indiana Jones.
I'm
Tune in
honestly
for the next
surprised at what's
episode.
up there.
Me too.
They're
yeah.
all huge franchises.
Yeah, I just thought I would have expected like MCU and Lord of the Rings and
Well, that's why people come to us, because we're stupid. That's Funhouse, baby.
That's why this show is over.
All right.
You
well,
can
we have to
watch
go.
Screen
Let's do
Junkies.
it.
You can watch Cinema Sins.
No, they know what they're talking about.
Yeah.
We don't want
let's
that.
let's stay on our East Coast
Is there still Screen Junkies?
and argue whether Star Wars or
feel like they
Indiana
went down.
Jones is better.
Oh,
Which
God.
George Lucas brainchild?
7-year-old me is having a fit right now. Just having a real tough go of it.
either way, George wins, so it really doesn't matter.
James.
I still barely think Indiana Jones qualifies. It's got 4 movies.
It's a franchise.
Video games, toys.
Yeah, but that's
feel like
I mean,
there's two
that's-
franchises
but
up
that's
here.
not. I mean, there's a tons of things. You were talked about maybe having X-Files on there. It has a
Yeah.
TV show, but I don't think that belongs in the film
That was
franchise.
when we were
world.
brainstorming 100 different franchises, and it's a franchise.
I mean, I would look. Given the options here, despite the fact that Indiana Jones has better films in it, I would go Star Wars because it is a giant, massive entity. It is a
begrudging.
brand that extends beyond even itself.
It's an uncontrollable savage beast that can't be
It's a
chained.
Death Star of sorts.
Yeah.
A lot of those.
And so, yeah.
A lot of
which are a
those.
dime a dozen these days. And so is garbage as I think some of it is, and how I think it should have lost to Shrek probably. I would probably put it over Indiana Jones, despite liking Indiana Jones way more.
Shrek and Mad Max would have been.
In this particular qualification of what would be the winner.
I'm in the same. I'm going through the same logic puzzle as you, but I'm like, do I want to award the one I like? It feels weird to be like, I would much prefer to watch Indiana Jones, but I'm going to not vote for it here. But then in terms of the iconic franchises, it's like it's hard to pass up Star Wars because it's the iconic
We can put
franchise.
them up against each other however we want.
I'm in a pickle.
It's a pickle.
We're the makers of our own destiny.
Well, I know we've been kind of flip flopping on our internal logic
No,
of how we're
I'm
voting for all
consistent.
this. Oh, yeah, you're true. I mean, I'm
We're a little
consistent. I don't know about
delirious,
everyone else.
honestly. We've been here for a long time.
Yeah, I keep feeling like we're gonna cover all this remaining stuff on a different day.
Oh, heaven.
No, this is
and at a certain
Decision
point,
Fatigue, the podcast.
yeah, about
All right,
halfway
what are
through
you
the first
thinking?
episode, I realized
What am
we
I
were going
thinking?
right.
I'm going to
into
base
it.
mine off of the rest of what you guys
You
say.
can't do
You should
that.
base yours off what I say.
Oh, unless we
Yes.
can
All
sway
the
you.
rest of them should be hand raises too.
Okay, yeah, I agree. I do that.
I think, not giving away how I'm going to vote, I just feel like Indiana Jones is such a fun ride that, like James was saying, like Star Wars all comes back to the same story, and and yes, there's one character through Indiana Jones, but like I feel like they're dynamic enough, and even the weakest one for me, which, well, I was going to say Temple of Doom, but I forgot about Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, which does make this all very complicated. Like 1 and 3 are so good, and 2 still has such fun moments. And you get like fish out of water stories, you get spy thrillers, you get suspense, you get magic. I just feel like there's so much, and I don't know. I feel like even if the new one, the 5th one, is not good, it's still gonna be not tarnished.
Does it have Kaminoans though?
What?
Guess it doesn't. You're right.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, the 5th one would have to. I mean, even if it was atrocious, it wouldn't ruin the series.
No.
Unless they do what the sequel to Kill a Mockingbird did, and Indiana Jones is just virulently
racist?
racist. Yeah, that would probably be bad. That would probably
You
not
could
be
ruin
fun.
it. You're right.
Yeah.
It's possible to ruin it.
When I saw
He's a
Crystal
Nazi now.
Skull, I went, wait, him being involved didn't do anything other than lead the bad guys to the thing that just killed them anyway. And then, like, all he did, he didn't really he could have not participated. They would have eventually found the alien in the spaceship. It would have eviscerated them, and then it would have flown away. And he didn't need to be involved. And I was like, that really is lame. And then it made me think about Raiders, and it's the same thing. In Raiders, he finds the thing, but the thing resolves everything itself.
They get what's coming to them.
Would they
I know,
have
but I'm
found the
just
thing
saying,
without him?
Crystal Skull made me angrier about Raiders. I was like, I love Raiders. It's perfect. And then it pointed out that, wait, Indy didn't have to get involved at all.
Yeah, I mean,
Everything was going to resolve itself as soon as the bad guys got what they wanted anyway.
it mirrors its whole Inception because all the interviews with Steven Spielberg, like, I didn't want to do another one, but George just kept saying, let's do it. Let's make it about aliens. And I was like, okay.
So anyway,
So Raiders better than any
Spite.
Star
Let's make
Wars
it Star
movie.
Wars.
yes.
Yes.
Is,
I'd say-
is Last Crusade also better than Empire?
I would.
or Star
For
Wars?
me, yes. For
Yeah.
me, in specifically,
So
yes.
there's two better movies than the entire franchise.
Temple of Doom is better than any Star Wars 2.
I don't know
Is
if I'd
it?
agree with
In
that.
my opinion.
No. I don't think so.
I like Temple of Doom, but I don't know.
I don't think so.
I'm half joking.
You're half.
Just half. Just
We
a
got to
little.
vote, though.
Yeah, we
gotta-
do.
gotta-
Star Wars right hand, Indiana Jones left. I really don't know how to vote on this. I'm personally
I don't
having
either. I'm
trouble.
gonna have to throw
I
this
know,
one up in the
but-
air.
I've decided.
All right, yeah. Star Wars right hand, Indiana Jones left hand.
Okay.
Best film franchise.
I'll put my left hand over my
for
heart
it.
so I can raise my
3,
right hand.
2, 1.
Dun, 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 dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun,
dun, dun.
Take it, John Williams.
What?
He's the one who
Da,
wins.
da, da,
I think
Yeah,
Indy
Star
wins.
Wars.
Star Wars, yeah.
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Star Wars
What?
won,
Yeah,
yeah.
Star Wars.
Star Wars definitely won.
Okay.
But does
all right,
anyone
I
get
got
thrown off a
confused
Zeppelin?
because Sometimes you sing the theme song of the loser,
Right? It's confusing.
and
me.
I guess it's confusing.
Damn it. All right. Then what is it? Dun.
Bond versus Toy Story.
How do you do your theme song?
Na, na, na,
more
na,
interesting.
na, 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 na,
There we go.
na, 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 na.
Who'd have thunk?
Episode 1. All right.
Me so no like that.
Bond versus Toy Story.
Oh boy.
I know where I'm going.
Bond.
Nope.
I know where I'm going as well.
When you're talking about franchise, there's just so much more in James
These are
Bond to talk
vastly-
about, to think about.
Do I like spies or toys? No. Easy question.
Am I scared that spies can talk? Yes. Am I going to let it ruin my day? No. I don't think the numbers game even applies.
These
I
are
just
so
think
different.
Bond is just such like a fun identity,
Yeah.
and like I don't need to see more Toy Stories.
I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's a good point. I'd like to see more James Bond movies. I don't know how many more
It is-
Adventures with Toys.
I'd say it is funny that Woody tapped out before Ryan did.
Give me what he saw.
Woody's like, I'm good. Thank you very much for your time. And Ryan's like, more.
He's got on a lobster bib and he's banging his.
I'm
I
the
like-
reason there's a fourth one.
I like the idea of Woody being a role like Bond. Like,
Yeah.
ooh, I want this person
Woody?
to play
Yeah.
Woody for the next 6
Well, there
years.
is the Buzz Lightyear movie coming or whatever.
Is there
That's why.
really?
Yeah, Chris Evans is the new Buzz Lightyear.
But
Oh,
it's
okay.
like-
I was gonna
it's like-
say because they really backseated Tim Allen.
live
after
action?
the
That's
third
like
one.
that's not like
No.
a toy one, right? It's like the character Buzz Lightyear
Yeah.
in like a space
Oh,
adventure.
that was a fun cartoon when they made that.
I remember that.
Yeah,
What
it
is
was pretty neat.
Yeah.
franchise.
All right. Well, we gotta.
James Bond right hand, Toy Story left hand. Unless anyone's got some last ditch arguments, I feel like
No, I do like agree that with Bond, like that can go on forever. You just keep
can.
like
It
like
will.
it's always exciting when
Diamonds
there's a new
are
Bond.
forever.
My final
And a
thing
girl's
would
best
be,
friend.
would be it's Bond. Yes, it's the a quintessential franchise and stuff, but there's lots of hit or misses and stuff. Whereas Toy Story, I think, is a very complete franchise where it's like, wow, everyone is a banger. And if I'm gonna recommend one of these franchises to somebody, I go, yeah, Toy Story is a much more quality over quantity production. That's where I'm gonna go.
I think if you said watch something tomorrow, pick a Toy Story or a Bond movie, I'd say just throw a Bond movie at me.
I'd say throw Toy Story 1 at me.
Okay.
What do I like more?
All right, we gotta vote.
Yeah. James Bond right hand, Toy Story left hand. Everybody vote in 3, 2, 1.
You got a friend in me.
Always the loser.
Got a friend in me. Dang it.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got
A friend.
You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me. You've got a friend in me.
We're here at the end.
Wow.
It's
Oh
the
my
end of our
God.
film podcast.
Oh my
and
James
the end of this
Bond.
podcast.
It's the Super Bowl.
Ultimate film franchise. I think the choice is easy for James.
We're doing best
he's
3
been-
out of 5, right?
Been railing against Star Wars for the whole show. We all know where Jacob stands in Star Wars.
I've gotten a transmitter implanted in my spine that if it'll blow me up if I don't vote for Star Wars.
George is constantly hovering over the
Did you
that a
put it in
Suicide
your
Squad reference?
You put it in.
No, Watto put it in there.
All right.
You're going to vote for Star
These, I will say this. I feel like this is a pretty good final showdown.
I
I was
agree.
thinking it was going to be like MCU, or I thought maybe even Harry Potter would make it further.
Yeah.
I
And
thought
then-
Lord of the Rings
So
gonna
I
make
do
it.
think that these are two great examples of franchises.
This is just like the
huge,
NBA finals this
massive
year.
franchises that extend far beyond where they began and have become cultural touchstones and identities and are just these massive beasts.
Sure.
Um,
They existed before any of us were alive, right? When did Star Wars come out?
1977.
1935?
So yeah, these movies existed before we were alive, and we'll probably keep going once we're gone. I'm
Thousands
guessing.
of years, yes.
Thousands of years is a lot. You're gonna get Robot Body.
no, I'm going to kill Star Wars.
How do you kill Star Wars?
Well, I just let them
Make it
keep doing what
racist?
they're doing.
Make it racist.
Yeah, just make Rise of Skywalker again. You'll
Yeah.
do it just fine.
Oh God, what a fucking pile of shit.
I saw that in the same theater as Jacob, and I was like, that was trash. And Jacob was like, and I was like, uh-oh. He wasn't like crying at the end of it.
I do remember we walked out of that crowded El Capitan when I was standing there. You're like, you were like, well, no. I just didn't know what to talk about.
Yeah. I was like, am I the only one? I felt like I was crazy, but then I was like, wait, Jacob wasn't overwhelmingly excited. All right, so let's see. Yeah, I don't really. I mean,
It's
I
the
think it's
toughest we
a
go
good,
at.
it's a
We've been
good
talking about
matchup.
this.
It's a really good matchup. I don't really know what else can be said that hasn't already been said.
Yeah.
Are there more good Bond
Yes.
movies? Not
Yes.
James answering this question.
Yeah, there's like
How many good Star Wars movies are there?
4.
3.
Which ones are those?
The original trilogy and the first JJ is my opinion.
I like
like-
Rogue One.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
I think
That's a
Rogue
good
One's-
sign.
Well, we're talking about how it all revolves
Yeah.
around the sky.
I mean, I'm basing all of this on Solo. Have you guys not be considering Solo?
People
as-
rip
Yeah.
that movie too much. It
Remember
was
Darth
fine.
Maul?
It's fine.
Darth
It's
Maul
just
shows up
fine.
for no reason.
Oh yeah,
But like
it was fine.
it's these things are so different because you got like the spy stories could exist as long as there's creative people to come up with them. And Star Wars is always going to be the best as like a genre thing, where it's just mimicking other genres. It's like you got Mandalorian, he's like a cowboy and a samurai, but it's in space and stuff. And like heck, maybe there'll be some Star Wars spy thing at some point.
I can't tell what you're arguing for.
You're arguing for space over spies.
No, I'm
which
just-
is
Well, it's the
what I would
Muppets
say.
argument, kind of, right?
I'm
You're saying
putting-
that Star Wars is like an entity, and then theoretically, if you give it enough time, Star Wars can be any of the things that these are, kind of
Yeah.
like the Muppets could be.
Yeah,
It is sort of the Muppets of franchises.
Star Wars, Great Gatsby. You know, we can get anything.
yeah. I'm pointing to the strengths of our two contenders here.
Star Wars
to
Let's
Kill a
Play.
Mockingbird.
Yeah, I'm just pointing to the strengths of our two finalists.
R2.
Here.
Oh, nice reference.
Oh,
Final. I feel like we need to do final thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking
This is my
We gotta
swamp.
vote.
because like Star Wars is the ultimate franchise.
I think James Bond, you can make an argument, is kind of an ultimate franchise too, just what it's become. I think these are both ultimate franchises battling it out here
James
at the Super
Bond,
Bowl
I mean,
on Film House.
We were trying to credit Star Wars with building, was like being the thing, but James Bond had what, like 12 films or something already by that point before Star Wars ever came out.
There wasn't that many, but I see what you're
It was a
saying.
lot, you
Yeah.
know, like
Quite a bit.
yeah. When was the first one? When did the first Bond come out?
64 maybe was
it that
Dr.
early?
No.
It was like, yeah, I feel like it was
No.
like 60, somewhere between 63 and
From Russia with
66.
Love, Diamonds Are Forever, Only Live Twice.
Well, and James Bond did Moonraker, so they've done Star Wars.
Oh, you're right. Shit.
and then Austin
Well, so did
Powers
Fast and
was
Furious.
set partially in space, so they've done Star Wars too. It's on the moon.
There you go.
Or something.
I think we have to vote though.
Do we want to let Omar get a word in for
Omar,
Fast and
any,
Furious before we
any
vote?
final less cases for Fast and Furious?
Justice
Justy
for
just
Fast.
raised a sign that said "Justice for Fast." All right.
I don't understand how you can dig behind a series that's as mediocre as Fast and Furious.
It shouldn't have lost to Pirates.
I agree with that.
It wouldn't have gotten. I don't think.
I actually voted for
I
Pirates.
have no idea what I voted, and I will not be
I
watching.
think you did
back.
Pirates too.
Probably.
You did Pirates.
I love.
one other
I saw
person
Dead
did.
Man's Chest on my birthday.
Well, two other people did Pirates. Yeah.
I just think the Fast and Furious franchise is so super mediocre, and it's overblown because they make a ton of
All right,
money.
that was 50 rounds ago.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah.
go to the Super Bowl. What are we doing?
All right, here we go. We got to vote, I think. Unless
gotta
people have
vote?
final statements.
Oh no, I'm gonna vote for Star Wars. I think.
Okay, let's do it, Dan.
All right.
You're fighting your demons on this podcast, Jacob.
Right hand James Bond, left hand Star Wars.
Both hands on the table.
Yeah, everybody, show what you got. All right, 3. What?
Which hand was which again?
Right hand James Bond, left hand Star Wars.
Everyone, close your eyes too.
you don't. No one has
I'll
to
close
close
my
their
eyes.
eyes.
Sure.
Eyes are closed.
For the end of
But I'm
Film
gonna
House,
probably
anything.
Feel Ryan.
All
all right, let's go. Let's go.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
I don't remember which hand was which. Again.
Star Wars.
Are you? Are you kidding me?
Makes sense.
I hate this podcast.
I wish it would end.
Fuck this
I
shit.
hate this
Evil
podcast.
Dead should have won.
Justice for.
There you go.
I don't know. I think all mine actually did pretty well. I was gonna say the Muppets, but I voted against it.
I didn't think Star Wars was gonna win. I didn't think it was gonna win.
Why did Star Wars?
This is hilarious how okay, yeah, Star Wars won the franchise war.
There's
Who
so
gives
many
a shit?
James Bond was a franchise before
Ryan,
George
this was-
Lucas
this was
even
Buck's
shit
son.
out Star Wars.
So like, all right, okay, I guess.
Blows
so.
my mind.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
So
Wow.
we're here.
Justice
We
for
did it.
Fast.
This is
still
the end
being-
of it all.
Well,
Star
yeah,
Wars
this
is
is
the
it.
franchise.
I
the
think
end of Film House.
if there's anything we've shown that sometimes things should come to an end, and they do naturally in a fireball.
I think Charlotte, we're idiots. So what did you expect?
We're stupid.
It's
Yeah,
about
we're
family.
dumb.
Yeah, it's about family, guys.
No, family got kicked out first last episode.
Oh, shit.
yeah, by a movie very little about family.
Then what is Star
Pirates of
Wars
the
about
Caribbean.
even?
It's about a family.
It's about family.
Oh, yeah.
Is it about a family? It's about a guy.
One family.
We need
A guy who
Yes.
starts a family.
And his
About a
dad.
guy and his
And then one's
dad,
bad.
and then his dad's boss and his dad's boss's granddaughter.
And they're
There
a
you
family.
go.
ladies and
Workplace
gentlemen.
comedy.
It's about a surname. Less family, and it's more about a surname.
Yeah.
Oh,
I think it's one of those things that's definitely, it's larger than the sum of its parts. Like there are not that many great Star Wars movies, but Star Wars itself is bigger than a couple of bad movies.
Yes, I would argue the opposite, that it's less than its individual part. Once you look at it as a whole, you're like, oh, they really haven't covered much ground at all.
I do feel a sense of dread when I see all the release slates laid out.
I
like,
hate that.
here's all these movies that are coming. I'm like, this sucks,
Are
man.
these inspired by anything?
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's like-
there's-
This was tough. I
calendars.
almost voted for Bond because I didn't necessarily want Star Wars to
yeah,
win
like
this,
if like I said, like if Lord of the Rings was up there, I would have voted for Lord of the Rings to win.
I think what I'm taking away is that this has no bearing on what I like, and
Yeah.
I'm actually don't even care. So like, whatever.
Yeah. Can we
No,
call
I do care a lot, actually. and
Yeah.
having
Justice
trouble
for the
reckoning.
Dooku. Dark Universe would have trounced all of these
true.
things
It's
if they
true.
had
Well-
made it.
I'm just glad
There's the one
George
picture.
Lucas found a little bit of success in his life and
Yeah.
won our bracket. And he was up against Jeff Bezos, who owns James Bond, by the way, at this point.
What?
And-
does?
Oh, they bought MGM. That's right.
Wow.
Fuck.
Well, can we call
God
this
damn it.
film? Yeah. Can we call this one Film House Skywalker?
We have to. We have to
I guess, yeah.
so
Thanks,
film house ... Skywalker.
thanks for supporting Film House for the few years that it's been on.
Yeah.
I think movie conversations will move, onto the Funhouse
Yeah.
podcast and some more gameplays. And if, there's some reason that we insist on talking about some movie, who knows? We
It'll
could
be in a
probably-
GTA, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe a director bracket.
Pigs
There you
on
go.
VOD. I just need people to talk to about Pig. Damn it,
Pigs on VOD.
All right. Everybody tweet Jacob about Pig.
please.
Yeah.
Pig on
I love Pig.
I guess tell us, James is pissed off. Everyone in the comments can tell us where we messed up on this.
We didn't mess up.
I am
This is
wrong.
a perfect bracket.
I mean, I had a lot of fun, even
I think
though
This was fun.
I
These are
think
always fun.
Lord of the Rings
this was exhausting.
is
Yeah, I
going
don't-
to take a lot of
I
ire
really
from the
can't believe Lord of the
comments.
Rings went out very quickly. But yeah,
it'd be
thanks for
Transformers.
coming. And yeah, we'll see you in some other stuff.
Bye, everybody. Thanks for
Goodbye.
watching.
Thanks for watching Film House.
Bye.
No, da-da.